place. Know that you're enough, you're in the right place. Ruby and Low, here to lift you higher. With love in our hearts, the light in the sky. Ruby and Low, shining so bright, spreading love, lifted hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. Hope in your heart, kindness in your hands. Together we rise like golden strands. No fear, no limits, just love and light. We'll change the world when we all unite. We are the LOLAngelz, shining so bright, spreading love, lifting hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. Hope in your heart, kindness in your hands. Together we rise like golden strands. No fear, no limits, just love and light. We'll change the world when we all unite. We are the LOLAngelz, shining so bright, spreading love, lifted hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. To everyone who shares this dream, you're the light, you're the beam. Thank you for love, for faith, for grace. Together we shine, one heart, one place.
Alrighty. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of LOLAngelz. We are at you every week at the same time, just about, and we haven't missed any episodes yet. We are on a roll, so I'm very proud of us.
We are.
We're Ruby Spacek.
Wait, Ruby, because we really have been doing this for 2 months and 2 weeks already. This is like, we really are on a roll, and I'm excited to just be here today. So I want to welcome everyone in. Thanks for tuning in for LOLAngelz. And yeah, I hope we have just a great, amazing episode today. I am a little, I don't know, all over the place today as usual, but we're gonna get into this.
Yes. Yeah, I like always have this like anxiety before streams, and then it's like once it goes for a few minutes and I feel settled in, it totally goes away. And I'll like forget that I'm streaming and I just feel like in the moment. But it's always like right before and like during it, like antsy.
I know.
Anyway, so we have a really good episode. The topic's going to be about judgment, comparison, and basically how that's the thief of joy. And the Bible talks a lot about how we shouldn't judge others because everyone is on their own path, and we all fall short of God's ultimate purpose for us. But it's important to keep reflecting on that and reflecting on what you can do to improve instead of, trying to tear others down.
Definitely. And I think judgment for today, even just, with the progress that you've made with your composure and obviously like how you've kind of been viewing everything, it definitely like shows today that kind of judgment was to need to be the topic for today, because we've been going through a lot of that, even within ourselves. Obviously I'm not going to lie, and I feel like anybody else shouldn't lie either. A judgmental thought will come into your head and you probably like either sit on it or you maybe let it go. But like, we're obviously just going to dive into that today, of not even just someone being judgmental to you, but you being judgmental to yourself, to others, like how you can redirect that thought. Just like what we can do to surpass and like understand that like judging people really isn't on the path to like righteousness and a good life. So
exactly. And it's ultimately like if you're like focusing on like someone else, that's time and energy away from yourself. And more than ever, like we are functioning in an economy that's surrounded by like the main thing is your attention is constantly, there's so many things battling for your attention. And Lo's been experiencing this too. Like now that she's done a couple months of streaming, it's like it is a lot of different like inputs, and it's taken me a while to get used to like what opinions to value, what to disregard, like
because there's a lot of people always like pulling you either or to either side, and it's like you kind of get overwhelmed with it. And I know that I personally have, because I do get a lot of input from a lot of different sources and places, and it's just a lot to take in all the time. And sometimes I feel like that does come with a little bit of judgment. And I feel like we'll get into it obviously, but I used to, I guess, kind of struggle with just feeling judged. I guess like in my mind, I was always like one of those people who, like, if I was out and about or just out in public, even in school, like I'd be thinking about what other people are thinking of me. And like I really struggled with that, like just growing up and just how I was viewed by others and how I viewed myself. I luckily have gotten over that, and I don't really care what people think about me anymore. But we can get into like how I got over that, obviously, and all that in between. So
yes. And but before we get into that, we can go over our basic mission statement.
yeah, let's go over the agenda first. So because I feel like it's our usual, agenda, but we both put in like some work today for our show and tell, and just our little, obviously the extra little shit that we do, our pictures and stuff. So I'm excited to show those.
Oh, yeah.
I personally like did my show and tell today. Literally, like I started at I think like 3:30 and I just got done at like 7:30. So it took me about 3-4 hours to finish. So you guys, I'm excited to show you. But that is what like took my energy out. I'm not gonna lie, Ruby. Like we were on the phone before I started it, and like you heard me, like I was excited. I was kind of like just like, oh, I'm kind of in a fog though. So like I just need to do something to kind of like get me back on track. And I thought that painting was gonna help, and it does, and it did. But at the same time, then like you've painted for 4 hours, your back is like hunched, and you're like, oh, I'm kind of like tired now. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, I felt like, I don't know, I've also felt like kind of foggy and like out of focus. And I think a lot of people experience this, and it's like an attention fatigue because we're constantly processing so much. I think the brain literally is just like, fuck you, I'm tired, like, and shuts down,
Exactly.
But
I definitely think that well, me personally, I don't know about yourself, but like, even though I like streaming and I love streaming, I'll always probably do it for a while, not always, but for a while. It definitely has taken a toll on me through these last like 4 or 5 months that I've been on it, because I just haven't given myself that, like I have, like, yeah, I take a couple of days off here and there, but I'm still either like thinking about what I can do for my next stream or, whatever the process is. And I just like, I don't really just sit back and just actually just, I don't know, just completely just like don't even think of YouTube as even a thing in my life. And that's like, it's not becoming a problem, but it's just like, I don't know. I get tired very easily. So I don't know. I gotta figure out some shit for sure.
Yeah, it's hard to like know like what boundaries to set with that kind of stuff. I'm definitely not good at that either, because if I'm not like streaming or working on an episode or something, I'm like talking on the Discord or like, networking with someone else. And, or.
Oh, yeah. No, see, our Discord has already gotten me over it. Like after all that shit with people like coming in and rating our shit, and I had to like close mine kind of down. I just like, I don't know, like the internet is weird. People are weird. And like, you really gotta just watch like just who you let in your inner circle, obviously. And Napstar, no, it's not fuck lowriders. Duh, you guys are lowriders for life. And I'm a lowrider myself for life. And I love you guys. But
Yes.
I just need to obviously get my, like, how I just handle people on my channel better. I need to just like get a handle on my channel better. That's literally it. Like people, like myself, everything included. Because I'm just tired of certain shit on my channel. So I gotta pick and choose certain things.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes like conflict can actually be good in showing you what your values and boundaries are. You can find out through these situations, and you're always improving yourself, improving your channel. So it's like, as long as you stay in that mindset, you can't go wrong. But it's really hard to know when to like stop, because it's like, for me, this is also like my hobby. So there's really, everything is so like enmeshed. It's probably like somewhat toxic for sure.
Right. But okay, so getting into just today's agenda, you guys already know, obviously, we'll be doing a show and tell today, which obviously me and Ruby will have 2 different things. I think we're going to be doing a little fashion change, like in the middle of the thing. Cause like me and Ruby both like unexpectedly kind of like got into like goth attire or something. So we wanted to do like a fashionista change, and just in the middle of the show, we'll probably change our outfit to a whole like completely different aesthetic. That's going to be a part of the show today. Of course,
and we'll want chat to pick out which one they like more.
Yes.
So
yes.
I mean, I one that's like very feminine, dressed up, and then one that's like my more casual style, which I think suits me more, and I tend to wear. But I have been enjoying. I got some dresses from my
No,
neighbor,
that makes
like they
sense.
were
Obviously,
awesome.
I want both of us to tell each other which one we like more too, because this vibe that you're already giving right now with the purple dress, I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I like it a lot. But salute to you, Lionel and 219 from my channel. I appreciate you guys. What else? Oh yeah, so I'm excited for that. You guys can let us know which outfit or just aesthetic you like on us better. I'm not sure what Ruby's second aesthetic is, but mine, I feel like you guys will see it coming. You know, it's nothing really crazy, but it's really just to get some opinions in. We have our pictures, of course, that we show you guys every week. 5 grateful things, we'll be talking about those. Scripture of the day. And then, you know, questions for the chat in our videos about, you know, judging people, judgmental things, whatever, how we can overcome it, how you can overcome the fear of being judged. I thought that was a good video even for myself, because like I said, I did happen to get over that, but it could be a problem still sometimes. So what do you want to start with first, Ruby? You want to read, because I know like last week you did read your daily devotional, so I'll read mine this week, but you can
Maybe we could start with some pictures. We uploaded some cute pictures. I uploaded some from It's Just Been Beautiful in New Haven. So I took some nice pictures of the Yale architecture. The trees don't like have the leaves out yet, but they are starting to get like little buds.
Those. What type of like, what is those buildings called? You know what I mean? Like,
it's just like a more it's like an
like Victorian
1800s style,
like,
yeah, like more Victorian architecture. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that type of like those type of buildings. Those are beautiful.
Yeah, this is actually my old apartment where I lived when I was like 18 with Giggler, who's in the chat sometimes. And we used to go on that roof and literally like hang our legs off of it. I can't believe I did that. It's super dangerous.
Shout out to Giggler.
Shout out to Giggler, always. Oh, also, not to brag, but I did fucking make my bed just now because we were gonna watch Jordan Peterson, and it's getting ridiculous. And like the Thorpes clown on me for my messiness, and I'm trying to learn to make that fuel that to, you know, inspire me to be better, you know, and like.
Yeah, I was gonna say, other than like letting it fuel you to be better, like it's really just, you know, being in a clean space yourself. It makes you just feel better, and it makes you feel just more clean, and you feel like, I guarantee at the end of this stream, when you can climb into your nice clean bed, like you're gonna have the best sleep ever.
Just, yeah, it was getting really bad. Also, the Thorpes announced today that they are throwing me in the trash. And I say, hallelujah.
I like that pink trash can. I like that pink trash can. I think it's very nice.
I looked up like Ruby trash.
Like,
anything would pop
and
up.
Like my dad and my grandma always used to tell me like cleanliness is obviously next to godliness, and that has been a thing that's kind of been instilled into my life, like since I have obviously been walking and been able to clean. And I just absolutely, and that's crazy that Static and me said that at the exact same time. I think he typed it as I was saying it. But no, like I think it's just a very good thing to ingrain in your mind, because like I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I can get a little messy, but it'll just be with my clothes. But then I just look around and I'm like, you know, I got to get this shit together. And it's really not that hard once you start to like get cleaning and just putting things up, even if it's just like one little thing at a time. Like you just get that like that burst of energy inside of you that you just want to finish too. Pause.
Yeah, I was gonna upload a Jordan Peterson quote I found. Okay. Oh, this is the one that is kind of makes me think of what you're talking about, is don't compare yourself with other people, compare yourself with who you were yesterday. Because sometimes I get caught up, obviously as a 35-year-old woman, I do not meet a lot of the like life things people would expect. I don't have a driver's license. My life is in shambles in a lot of ways, and I'm like trying to put it back together. And I generally have a positive attitude, and I feel incredibly blessed, and like, you know, I have all my basic needs met. I have a fun YouTube channel. I have a lot of friends and family. But, you know, it still is in my head sometimes, like, why can't I be better? Why am I not functioning like other people? And that can be like an insecurity, but I'm trying to like make
it. And it's just like, it's a process. Like, obviously the environment that you grew up in, what you continue to stay in as you're an adult, like, obviously, like you said, I'm sure like during your like recovery times, you weren't really thinking of those things, and that wasn't like the first thing on your mind. And now you're kind of trying to get back into like this normal space, and it's harder for you because you haven't been doing that. So it's really just like disciplining yourself and getting yourself into that right mind space of just, okay, like not only like obviously like you said, like the Thorpes have been saying stuff to you, that's not really what you should care about. But if that is a thought, like not only are they saying that, but you should just, like I said, want to be in a clean area yourself.
Mm-hmm. They also just don't really have a good grasp on like human psychology and just like how mental health works or anything of that nature, as you can see by their disastrous lives. But I did fill up four garbage bags, all full of garbage from my room and surrounding areas. And you know, when I did that, it was right before the episode because I was like, I'm like nervous. I'm like pacing around and I keep looking at things I should clean. And then I'm like, you know, and then I get just like go, you know, acting like a crazy person. But I was able to, you know, psych myself, you know, into doing it just by doing a little at a time. Like, yes, okay, I can at least.
That's what I was about to say. It's always better to start a little at the time. Like, if you just start looking at everything and you're like, okay, I have to do this and I have to do this and I have to do this, like you're gonna overwhelm yourself. So literally, just start by picking up one thing and going to throw it in the trash. Go back to a different area, pick up one thing, and like obviously, as 20-30 minutes go by, you just slowly start to see your progress. And then that is like what gives you that feeling of achievement inside, not just like because you're gonna sit there, try to go through a whole pile, overwhelm yourself, start fucking like getting up, trying to go do something else because you're overwhelmed with that pile, and then go get overwhelmed with something else. So it's just better to start small.
Yes. And in other news that I find to be positive, Becky officially left Log Cow Queens and is doing her own show, which I think will actually be superior, more interesting, because she has a lot of interesting takes. She's very intelligent. She's emotionally intelligent, and she has a lot of interest. I feel like, you know, she was limited in that environment, but I also don't want to like say too many positive things because I don't know everything that happened. And there was, you know, sketchiness in that world. And, but I'm glad to see her going solo. She streamed last night and it was pretty scandalous. And Keemstar has now had this like enforced the grace policy where no one's allowed to say her name. And more people are saying Homeboy's running a cult, and it's weird.
I remember you told me earlier that she had quit, but I didn't know she had started her own show.
Well, she had, yeah, and part of the reason they had issues is for her to be on Log Cow Queens, they said she couldn't do anything else on her own channels. It's like she would have to, like, it seems like he needed to control like what she was doing and like profit off it, and like she can't profit off her own.
Like, like we've even talked about that on like a Celebrity Sunday of just like watching them. And, you know, him coming in at certain points, like when they talk about certain things and kind of redirecting everything. And it kind of just shows like the controlling issues, or if he did do something and he couldn't really like keep full accountability, or he tried to like victim blame someone else. And it's just like you're kind of showing your true colors and like what you're running over there. And even when we had the stream the other day with Ava and Lynx told us like they obviously had to go through fucking crazy amounts of like stress and overwhelming situations to not only not get paid enough, but to like be like controlled by a control freak. I'm not going to call him a control freak.
Demeaned.
Him in real life, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, they did messed up things like on that show. And there was like one show that I had reacted to where a bunch of people were like ganging up on her one night and she walked off the camera, was crying. And you could tell it was fucking real. And I was so annoyed because like people in the audience are like, no, it's all scripted. You're dumb for like believing this. It's obviously fake. But I feel pretty validated for like my perception that there was a lot of real like abuse.
That's what I was about to say. There were times like I feel like, especially with Becky, she was somewhat like, it was 50-50. Like she was a good actress, but at the same time she wasn't. So you could tell when those cries were either real or fake. And I feel like, yes, a lot of that shit was fake and scripted, but there was certain times you can just tell, like, by someone's paleness of their face or their body language or they're just fatigued, like anything, like, that bitch was going through it. No offense, Becky, you were going through it, but.
Well, yeah. I don't know how she pulled it off for that long. She must have, like, you know, be pretty resilient, because I feel like I would be so fucked up just from doing one episode of that with like all the pressure, and not to mention a hostile audience of 5,000 people. People act like I'm ridiculous for crying. Like when I didn't get hired and they said I was fake, like even though I like opened up and like, yeah, I did cry. And it was like, it's also, I was humiliated in front of 5,000 people. Yeah.
It is like fake online for sure. But I feel like you just got to really be, you know, just have good what's discernment and just like you know, compassion for people, seeing how people really truly feel. Most people obviously look at people on YouTube like all this is just a game for them, and they're, you know, this is like a persona, a facade, and like I get it because that is a lot of it. But sometimes there are real emotions on here, and there's like genuineness behind someone's feelings, like. But I don't know, with the Becky shit, I personally, like I said, I only continued to watch LOL Cow Queens, I think for like 2 weeks or something. I definitely got my little taste of it. I didn't end up liking it in the end, but I could tell like what Becky was doing, it was for a show. But like I said, there was little points and times in her facade and her show that her real feelings peeked through. And it was sad to see, because you could tell like some shit like she didn't really necessarily like want to do. But at the same time, I can't like say that because like we're all adults, and like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a whole nother.
It's a lot of pressure when you have like Keemstar, this huge YouTuber who's been like around forever. He has full control of like the audience, and like if you get fired, you're blacklisted, and like no one can talk to you, and he'll go after you financially and go after your channel with like his YouTube connections supposedly. I can empathize with her just having a lot of pressure from a lot of different directions, but like primarily it seems like Keem was very controlling. And
one thing I want to know still to this day, like, is she really a Harvard graduate though? Like, I'm
curious to talk about that. After watching her stream last night and her just like opening up more about what she cares about, what her interests are, I find it more plausible, because she was, you know, definitely playing up a hateable, dramatic character. So I don't know. I have no idea, actually. I used to think it was a fake, or like from the a side program that's not like really Harvard, but
yeah, but we also can't forget that she did say like she's a pagan witch, so I didn't forget about that.
Dude, she was doing tarot last night, and Grace did one, and then she asked me if I wanted to ask.
You better have said no. You better have said no.
Chat, what do you think I said?
You better have said no, Ruby. Are you kidding me?
I said no. I said I can't. I'm so scared.
Let's go.
I don't want to know.
Yes, that is double brownie points for Ruby. Like, well, we're not doing that fucking tarot card shit over here. Fuck no. Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy you said no. Thank goodness. Thank goodness.
Yeah, I was like polite about it, and you know, I was curious. I was like watching it, but to interact with that kind of stuff, I would just prefer to play it safe. You know, I don't know. I just get a little freaked out.
Like we keep saying, there was a lot of fake shit with that show, but even like the what was it, like the sauna Pikachu thing, and like
the sauna virus, yeah,
like whenever we were going through all that shit, and like so much shit was like happening to all of the co-hosts, even across like the different type of shows. Like, I don't know, like, yeah, all that shit could have been fake, but I don't like to play around with like paranormal or just any entity, demons, nothing like that. Like, it's not funny, it's not cute. So like, yeah, I'm just very proud of you, and that you said no to that, because what?
I was tempted for a moment, but it did feel like one of those moments where I just like, I don't know, I'm really trying to listen to my gut and like follow, you know, just like a general feeling of like light in my soul. And I just felt like it was in treacherous territory, and I was scared. So
no, because that's what I'm saying. Like, Dirty Curry from my channel, he said I own a tarot deck, but I just like looking at the pictures. LOL, don't believe in the divination crap. And like, I feel like having them, I guess, in your space, like that could mean or not mean something, and just looking at the pictures, like that's cool. But having someone like read you your tarot card and telling you like, oh, this is what that means, and you're gonna have this type of life, like I feel like obviously that's like when it comes into, oh, you're speaking life and death in your tongue, and that person could or could not be speaking curses over your life with the words that they're using in the cards that they're looking at to like tell you, oh, this is the future for your destiny or your life or whatever. I don't know, like when it comes to that shit, what people say in their words, like I take that shit to heart. So I don't let people say certain shit to me.
Yeah, I'm just play it safe. My mom was always like very strict about that too. Like when we were little, we weren't even allowed to read like Harry Potter or like things like that just because of the witch aspect. She was always very, you know, like, I don't know. And it's funny because I always thought it was like so ridiculous, but here I am, like, you know, 20 years later, like, no, you know, I love turning into my mom though in like all the best ways though.
Stanley says salute to me and you from my channel.
Yes, salute, Stanley. How are you? tarot cards on a parlor trip. I don't know. I just, all that stuff kind of freaks me out. Ban check. Ryder, you are not banned. I mass unbanned everyone. And that's why I was interacting with the Thorpes earlier. It's so interesting because I thought I was being like really peaceful and like not freaking out. And I've just learned to disregard things. It's like, you know, I'm just learning how to navigate that better. And they freak out.
I personally
Kicked
even
me out of their Discord.
I wasn't there earlier, so I don't know exactly like what was said between you guys. We don't even really.
We were just chatting about Becky. It was fairly like casual. You know, we both are interested in that situation and have like opinions on it. So it came up. But weirdly, I don't know what happened, but I signed off and then I noticed I wasn't in the misunderstood Discord anymore. And then I look at their kick and what does it say here? Banned from chat. And they're talking about going no contact. I mean, this is a good thing. It is a good thing. I hope it is a true thing that they stick with. I will stick. I would prefer we could all stand to move on from each other. It's been too messy for too long. Anyway, so but they said they threw me out in the garbage, that I'm a gross pig. You know, the usual.
Make you chuckle and laugh for real though, because it's like
I know it's amusing. So that's almost why I like put up with it too. It's like it can be amusing.
It's really just their opinions. Like they're straight coming from the like they're coming from them. Like no offense, but
you don't even have to say more than that.
Like my opinion literally does not matter and it doesn't affect people. Their opinions literally don't matter and they don't affect people. Like unless you let it affect you. That's it. And I don't know. I personally I could never get it. Like even earlier, like I said, I wasn't even in the stream, but people like to like, you know, address or passively try to address me. You know, they're not addressing me directly. They're going to do it in some passive sly shit. And it's just like, I will address you not only directly, but then I'm just going to make a joke out of it. Like, oh, I'm digging my bank right now, guys. Like the river is coming. I'm crying. I'm so sad.
That was so funny. I think maybe that's what triggered. He was like triggered that we didn't like give enough fuck, that he was like trying to put us down and pit us against each other. His like favorite thing in the world is triangulating women against each other. And it's like, it just ain't going to work. It just ain't going to work.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, like I said, when it just comes to that shit, like I find it actually hilarious. I'll be chuckling literally behind my camera. Like I try not to type and deal with people, but at the same time, if you're gonna make an indirect message about me, like I hope you have the most amazing day ever. Okay, like that's how I'm gonna do. That's how I'm gonna respond to you. Like, but salute to you, Bob. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and also on LOLangelz with a Z. Appreciate you guys.
Yes, and Ryder, it's true. It doesn't feel nice to be banned, even though, like, I shouldn't, you know, even be watching their channel or chat anyway. Like, they're moving towards the fat camp stuff and away from the Ruby stuff, and I think that's best for everyone. And you know, me and Lo are both out here networking, meeting other YouTubers. We just did a collab with Ava and Lynx. So
honestly, I'm not gonna. I think that episode was actually great. Like it's not even like, oh, I didn't really know Lynx that much. Me and Ava really haven't conversated, but even though the topic wasn't necessarily something I would like to talk on, I think that us four was a great duo, and we all have like different types of personalities, and we can just like, you know, like go off of each other's energy and shit. And I personally loved us all four together, and I hope that we can do a channel, or not a channel, like, but just a show in the future.
Absolutely. And it feels good. There's power in numbers, and I love to see women supporting each other and building each other up instead of like falling into the trap of like tearing each other down. Because if we all work together, it actually is towards all of our benefit. You know, it can absolutely. That's how you build cities. You need a lot of people. You know, you can't.
That's what I'm saying. And people, that's what people. And no, you know what makes me like, you know what just made me think of that? Like that makes me think of the Ant movie, guys. Like I know everyone, or Bug's Life. I know you guys all seen Bug's Life, Ant Life, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you were a kid, and that one part where the grasshoppers, you know, they're coming together. They're like, we got to get these ants under control, guys, because if they realize how many there are compared to us, they're going to be able to overthrow us. And that literally made me think of that. And it's like, if we come together as a community and stop fucking fighting each other, like we will be so better off. Like that's their whole plan, is to divide us and to make us think like, oh, like we can't band together because we have all these differences. Like, guys, we're damn near all the same. Like, come on now. Like, I
Yeah,
can't.
exactly. I thought you added some really great perspective to that episode, even though you aren't like haven't followed those specific streamers, you do have insight into like relationships, like in the broader, you know,
And yeah,
wisdom.
it doesn't even necessarily have to be like, oh, relationships that I've been like, I am about to be 24 years old. I've been around lots of people in my lifetime. I have observed lots of people in my lifetime because like, yeah, I do talk a lot and yap online, but in reality, like in person, I'm really like an observer. I'll sit back and just like watch people and shit. That's weird, but like, that's just how I am. And you can just see, obviously, once you finally do realize, okay, this was what that was like years ago, and this was the type of relationship they used to have, like you just start to like put all the little pieces together, and you can like just tell what the red flags are, what the fucking toxic patterns are going to be in someone's relationship, what you see in the beginning, what a relationship is going to look like at the end of that, if they have that in the beginning. Like there's so many things that like I feel like help people and will show you the truth about a certain thing, but we just like to be, you know, blind to certain things and not really like, we just like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are enablers also, you know.
100%. But Egg Picker said something. They were like, "Oh wow, 9 viewers." They're like saying something about viewers, but it reminded me.
Said, I think they were saying that on my channel because they came from my channel. But most people, a lot of people who watch you watch me, and if they're watching LOLangelz, they're not going to be watching my shit too. So like, I don't care. It's fine. I just
we're all. Yeah, I'm restreaming it to my channel because I got monetized. So then, if people want to super chat, they can do it on either one. So it's I don't know how.
Just pointed out to me that you look, your outfit looks like Hinata's from Naruto. You might not know what that is, but
I don't know.
They're on point, and I don't even know what other aesthetic you got.
Let me see.
Forget the other outfit, okay? Like that is actually true. Look that up. No, Hinata, like Hinata from Naruto. That's Naruto's wife. Go to her outfit though, her purple outfit and like Shippuden.
Oh, I can see it like this. Oh
I don't know.
Okay, this is similar. Because it.
I don't know. I can't see. We can't see what you're looking at, Ruby.
Oh, I'm literally silly. Oh, let me do the share this tab.
There you go. Yep, that outfit right there. No, just even go to like, if you scroll down, like they should have an actual picture of her like with the purple outfit on. That's just like a fan art, you know. And she does have yeah, that shit. That's not how she looks. They overdid it with that one.
Okay. I'm very flattered. Thank you, everyone.
No, you really do, because even with the bangs and everything, you're giving Hinata today, and I can't like. How did you guys point that out before I did? Oh my goodness.
Oh, hi, Grimace. Oh, but I was gonna say, the Thorpes also are people who are obsessed with numbers, and they're always referencing like, "Oh, we have more numbers than you," like, and disregarding the fact that they're a duo who's been doing this longer. It doesn't matter, but there's different metrics that different people value. Raw numbers and just like that, just one person's attention. That's not the only metric. Like, you know, for me, I prioritize, you know, connecting with people. I want to make content that people connect to, like genuinely, not just like see it and like be like, what
the fake unauthentic shit. Like I can't watch it. I really can't. But okay, so I think since what do we do first? Oh yeah, so you showed some of your pictures. You can show my pictures next if you want.
Oh yeah. Okay, but not the
not the picture of what I painted, but all the rest of the other shit.
Okay, got it.
Because there is another picture of another painting, but you can pull that one up because I did that a couple years ago. More than guys,
that is so cool.
And, this is from Hunter x Hunter or Hunter, however you want to say it. This is Killua. That's him in like a certain fight, whatever. But I painted that probably in like 2019, 20 or something. So
that is really good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I love painting, but I just don't do it a lot, and I'm pretty good at it, but I don't know. I get like, painting block, writer's block. I forget what else I sent you. I don't know.
Let me
I
see.
forget.
I'm scrolling down. I uploaded. Oh, I know what it is. I think. Oh wait, I uploaded like 20,000 different like Bible verse like quotes about like judgment because there's so many. Hope I didn't. I know you.
No, we can pull the. You can read that one actually if you want.
I don't know where the. Oh well, but yeah, this is a good one anyway. Wherever there is jealousy and selfish ambition, there is disorder in everything that is evil. And I found that to resonate. Also, I had some quotes from Robert Greene, and we do have 2 video clips for later that we can look at. One from Jordan Peterson and one from Robert Greene. Robert Greene, who's famous for writing the 48 Laws of Power, which I found to be very helpful to help me navigate different personalities, because not everyone's naturally empathetic.
Right.
And you have to learn how to deal with people who behave in kind of psychopathic, power hungry ways. Like, that is the ultimate objective for some people, is just to have the biggest house, the biggest car, and the hottest wife or whatever, whatever they value. But the Bible over and over says that these are not the things to value. And even just if you're a secular person who has any kind of like meaning in your life, everyone knows that those things are great, but they're not what really makes you happy,
Yeah, but I feel like when it comes to that, and obviously I completely agree with you, I try to focus on, where I'm going to end up at the end of the day. If I was to die today, God forbid, where am I going to end up? That's what I'm focused on. But I feel like people, they can't look past the actual, just, I don't know how to explain it, because I try to explain this to people all the time. It's like, obviously you're here in real life. You know what I mean? Like, this is reality. And so not having, oh yeah, that's one of the pictures.
I finally found one. I found the other one.
Yeah. It says, I'm not interested in competing with anyone. I hope we all make it. And I've had that picture in my album since like 2019. And that's how I've always felt. Like, I don't compare to people. Like, even like I said, like when I was in high school, I would be thinking about what other people thought of me, but I usually am never like judgmental. I always try not to be judgmental, just because I'm not the most perfect person in the world. And like, who am I to judge anybody? Like, what the fuck? But what was I saying? Before that, you pulled the picture up, I forget. I was talking about something. I don't even remember.
Bible verse. Dude, 2 potheads. It's gonna my brain.
I know, I haven't been smoking on the last couple episodes, and I like it better, but I needed to smoke because I haven't smoked today, and I just like, today's been weird. Oh yeah, I did put this one in here too, to just also like let you guys know, obviously, without like, if you guys don't have to compare, you can just start loving yourself more. And once you love yourself, like, it just gets easier from there. Like, once you love yourself, you can love other people, and like, you can just be that person that you need to be. But this says, you are altogether beautiful, my darling. There is no flaw in you. And this is from Song of Solomon 4:7. I've had that in my phone for a couple of years, whatever. It's like on my, one of my screensavers. And it's just a nice little reminder, because like, I feel like it is hard. People have depression, anxiety, fucking obviously insecurities, body dysmorphia, a whole bunch of shit. Like, and your mindset is usually in like turmoil, I would say. And it's just good to remind yourself, like, you are beautiful, you are worth it. You do have something to work towards. You're not in life by yourself. God is there for you. And if you don't believe in God, then I'm sure you have a family member, a mother that loves you, a father that loves you, a sister, a friend, me or Ruby. We love you. Come on now, guys. Like, be serious.
Yeah. Online friendships can be actually very meaningful, and and it kind of resembles, like, I have a lot of friends who don't like live in my state, so maybe I only see them in person every once in a while, but you can maintain a relationship just by staying in contact and reminding them that you care and stay invested in their lives. And especially like with the internet, you can video chat. It makes it a lot easier.
Right. And I agree with TJ. TJ said, we love because he loved us first, 1 John 4:19. But when you realize how much God loves you, you realize how much is worth loving. And that, I definitely agree. Like, I feel like sometimes I really forget how much like God loves me, and I'll be like, oh, I kind of feel lonely, or just, even within like my family or my friends. And I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I won't have anyone. And then he'll easily, remind me that he is there and that he loves me more than anything. And he obviously gave us, not only me, his son, so we could not be separated from him, and that we could have that bridge and that connection and be able to feel loved and know what it's like to know what that is and what kindness is and just the true feelings in the world. And yeah, I'm just glad to have God. Obviously, he's definitely my favorite person ever. So with Jesus, really.
I mean, I've had like dramatic improvements in my life since praying and setting aside time to like read the Bible or just like, reflect on, broader things in my life and what I value. And it always comes back to love, relationships, and I like creating things. And if people enjoy what I'm creating, that's like the icing on the cake. But ultimately, I just feel called to, try to live out my purpose, which is to be the best version of myself and to try to contribute positively to humanity while I'm here, in whatever way that might be,
Mm-hmm.
And
And
yeah,
yes, Christ is king. I'm not even, listen, that's one thing that I am going to stop doing. I'm going to stop not addressing comments, but if you're just like talking, however, in the comments, like you're not getting addressed by me anymore. I love everybody out there though. So if you comment something nice, maybe I will. 12th man salute to you though. I appreciate you.
And Boop Boop said they dislike the Jesus stuff. Seems like a cop out for anything that's too difficult to deal with. I mean, I can see why people think that, and I used to kind of think that, they call religion the opiate of the masses, but that was until I had this incredible spiritual experience. And to this day, I have intellectual doubts, but I feel this very strong spiritual connection to what I identify to be God. And I feel closer to that connection through reading the Bible and through specifically reflecting on Jesus, how he lived and his teachings. That seems like the best way to go for me personally, but everyone's entitled, and the secular people are welcome here because it's also just about, we want to have a positive network of people who just value the same things as us. We're just like treating other people kindly and, being creative and just having fun, not being weird.
Yeah, I know. Like, I understand, like, the comment or whatever. A lot of people, I would say, they do use God as, like, a weapon or, like, as, like, a source for, like, their arguments or whatever. Like you said, like, a cop-out. But me personally, like, I always express this on LOLAngelz and my own panel. I personally, like, try my hardest, okay, to live, like, what I say to live by. Like, I definitely apply these things to my life. I'm not just speaking them. And like Ruby said, when you are learning those teachings and what Jesus had for us, first of all, they're really not that bad. Like, I feel like people be overreacting. Like, people think, oh, you get into Jesus and your life has to start being boring and whatever. But it's also like your perspective on what's fun and what's boring and really what's like the joys of life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And what's so wrong with not killing and not stealing and not lying? Like, and like, obviously you can go on and on about all of his teachings, whatever. But I just feel like also people who give it a try, usually they find that love and they find that something that your soul is yearning for. And it happens and it tends to work. Jesus does work. I can't lie, because obviously I'm not only myself, Ruby just explained that it's her, testimony too, but I also feel the love of God and Jesus a lot. He has, changed my life from the first time that I encountered like his presence, I guess you could say. And I don't know, like, it's not like, oh, I think, it's like, I know, that God is real. And I know, like, it's not, I believe, like, it's like, it is a real life, like, situation for myself. So I don't know, like, that's how I personally feel about it. So
yeah, and it's something like no one could have convinced me of anything. It's something I had to experience, and open my heart up to, like, and it has been very like healing and life-changing. And it feels like the love of God is just like a fountain of like healing energy that you can like, use to help get through life and find power and motivation. And it's just, I mean, I have little prayers and they come true quite often, and I feel incredibly blessed and like I want to do better and be better.
I feel like people like even just forget that he literally blesses you every single day of your life. You get to wake up and you're here right now. You get to stare at your phone. You get to do whatever you're doing on an everyday basis. Like, that's literally blessing. more than anybody does for you on an everyday basis. So I think that people should be a little bit more grateful. But at the same time, whatever you believe in, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't try to force Jesus or God on anyone. I'm just telling you my own beliefs. If you believe in something else, then if that's working for you, by all means, like, you know, do what you do. But I also am trying to spread my little bit of truth that I think that I know.
Exactly. And even you don't have to agree with everything we say. You could still maybe take something of value from what we're saying, or just find it relatable and make you feel less alone in something you've struggled with. Because, you know, I know other people who struggle with like keeping up with things, even though they're trying their best, and it's difficult. But, you know, I've found something that helps me. So of course I want to share that, you know, with the world, but also not in a way that's pushy or makes them feel judged. I brought this up by accident, but I actually did want to show it too.
People, I have friends that don't believe in God, and like we are perfectly fine friends. I don't ever try to force that upon them. Obviously, if I speak about it, they have enough respect for me just as a person where they can listen to, you know, my points and my views, and the same thing is vice versa. Like, I'm going to listen to them and what they have to say. And I, you know, obviously I can look at, I guess, a perspective if I really wanted to without God. But like, I always tell people, why would I want to do that? Like, but I will for like another's sake, as in if someone's venting to me, I'm not going to immediately turn it into God, because I understand. But at the same time, like, some people need to hear that they're loved, and, you know, because a lot of people do, like I said, feel alone, feel like they have nobody. So it's sometimes, you know, I don't know. Like, people, it's
especially
like
online, like in the spaces
you know
where
what
we are.
You know what I figured out? No matter what we do, though, people are always going to complain about something. So no matter if like
Dude, I know.
we're good, we believe in some things, we believe in those type of things. Like, no matter what, we're going to be wrong in someone's eyes. So at this point, it is what it is. We're going to believe in what we want to believe, just how everyone else is on this earth, and that's just it. So yeah. I don't know. People stress me out, but it's okay. Let's move on to
And
the
yeah,
next
and it
one.
helps. It's, you know, it helps a lot of people who have struggled in addiction. It's very common and very prevalent in like AA and NA to have a higher power and to follow the Bible or have some other kind of like religion or spiritual practice. And for me, I never had that the other times when I had gotten clean. And I had, you know, 8 years clean before, but there was always that like missing something. And it really wasn't until I was in fentanyl withdrawal and like, you know, wanted to die that like God changed my life, or, you know, and I feel very blessed for that. So, all right. So we have a couple, I don't know, I forget which one, what was the next segment? Sorry, I threw you on that.
No, you're good. I was about to say, I know what's next, but I kind of want to show like what we did. Like, I think we should do show and tell next.
Okay. I'm down. Let's do. All right. I'm going to start. So for my show and tell, I'm doing a little fashion show, and to get you in the mood, I uploaded a little fashionista clip just to tell you what I'm going
your
for.
I wasn't going to send you mine, but I was like, I wanted you to upload it just so in case they couldn't see it on screen, you could just pull it up.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So this So for show and tell, first, this is the purple dress from earlier. I think the best piece that my neighbor gave me, but we're going to switch it up into a different style. So this is look one, and you guys get to choose which one you like better. So this is done up. Trying to be a little more glamorous. I also was wearing it with a little jacket. But I got a couple cute dresses, but I'm going to do a whole entirely different. All right, I'm getting changed.
I wasn't expecting that to stop so early. Sorry, guys.
Sorry. I should have made a longer clip.
No, it's okay, Ruby. I'm sorry, guys. I have food in my mouth. We're going to move on. Ruby's not trying to give us a strip show.
Nation, I don't know where the clothes are.
No strip show. We're not. This is full angels, okay? Guys, I gotta pull out my thing actually. So.
Ooh, okay. I found the pants, and the shirt is belt on. And you guys are going to get another fashion moment, but of a different vibe.
Okay, I got my shit, so my shit's ready for us. Wait.
So, oh wait, the shirt is backwards. I'm so failing at this. All right, get ready.
Ruby, you cannot. This is not a strip show. Please don't do this to us. No, we're not doing this. Alex, I am next, but I have something that I made. I'm excited to show you guys. I like that. I like those pants, Ruby. They look like very comfortable sweatpants.
Yes, and then the final touch in this.
Okay. So wait, what is this? What is? Give us the what is this aesthetic?
The aesthetic is like athleisure, comfort, but like fitted and cute.
I fuck
and
with
I'm
that.
gonna take it to like a more homeless aesthetic of
the hoodie, right? I like it. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's pretty cute.
All right.
You're gonna leave the hood up?
Yeah, that's like when like Dan and some guys join a panel, they'll like be like this, like not even like talking, like.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and then also bonus item is this little stuffed animal that my brother gave me of Tails.
Was that Tails? Oh my goodness! Stop. No, I love that. I don't really like Sonic as just the character. Like I used to love playing Sonic the game, but I would always play with Tails because Tails is that guy. Tails. But that is absolutely so cute, and I love the aesthetic change. I mean, mine, we can do mine after. I thought we'll just like add it in, but I'll show the painting first. And guys,
like this chat, get ready for beauty to be bestowed upon your eyeballs of pure raw talent. And you put a lot of I love how much you put like into the art. It inspires me. I definitely want to do a drawing for next week too.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm excited. That was a little sneak peek, guys. Because this really like took me fucking forever, and I could have did even better if I had more time, but I didn't think it was even going to take me the 4 hours to begin with. But it's also because like when I just do certain shit, it doesn't look that good on there, but it's so fire in person, like. But I try to.
I love it. I love it.
Clouds, and I have like the sun and.
Oh, you have it. You have it right there too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me solo.
It's basically supposed to be me. You already know, and just with the star. I don't know why I chose the colors that I did. I kind of just like freestyled it, but that's it. So.
Dude, I fucking
don't know. Like I feel like the color schemes are really cute, and I wanted to paint Ruby in it, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna paint Ruby in a separate canvas, right? But do her like color scheme of the clouds, probably like a pink and this blue. So the background would be pink and blue, and then she would have her reddish brown hair, her auburn hair, and then her dress would probably be the color like I don't know if I would do a yellow or reddish pink. But it would be somewhat of the same, but she would probably have a moon instead of the sun. And yeah, I love painting for real, and that's it. I did it for sure.
That's really beautiful. I never got into painting as much just because I'm not good with like all the supplies, and it can actually be like kind of expensive to get like paint. I have a friend who went to RISD for painting, and
but at the same time, like I feel like it just also depends on how much you paint. Like I said, I usually have painter's block, I guess you can say. And because I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to painting, not a perfectionist maybe in some others' eyes, but like I like details how I like them. And, I'll spend like fucking an hour on, just the background alone, 2 hours on the background alone to make sure it's like what I prefer and what I like. And it takes too long. My hands hurt by the end of it. My back hurts and shit. And like, I would probably do it once every 3 to 4 months or something. But I did just paint that rock though. Like, that is true. So I don't know.
Cute.
It is really cute. And while you pull up any of your like more quotes, I guess I'll change my aesthetic now, guys. You guys, I feel like you're guessing it, but I'll be back.
Okay. Well, I have a couple more. Like, I'm a dork. I like inspirational quotes. We were looking at this one earlier, but we didn't really look at this one. And this is important to me. I realized as of lately, if you fail to understand evil, then you have laid yourself bare to it. You are susceptible to its effects or to its will. And I feel that that was very true of me, especially early on streaming, because I didn't really understand the environment I was in. And I had never encountered like actual evil like that before. Why don't we get strip shows? Oh my gosh, thank you. If that was for me. At Delulu. Look 2 makes your dude, I unironically am leaning look 2. Like people I like literally this is what I think this looks good. Okay, maybe the sweatpants make it too like, whatever. All right. No. Oh my god, this isn't my freaking psycho stream. We are being angels, being positive. And I was trying to just sit down and read the Bible before this. And I found it very useful to read Proverbs because it has a lot of great things about jealousy and envy. But this one says
it's literally blue. If you guys can't see it,
dude,
you guys know, and my hood is incorporated. I wear this hoodie a decent amount, but at the same time, like I don't wear it. But it has, of course, you already know, Aang style, like let's go. And I just love him. So anime, I would say the aesthetic would be anime core or I don't know. Something, yeah. Anime,
I like that. It's like anime athleisure.
Athleisure. Okay. I fuck with that. So were we both kind of
I think we look better in our like more casual.
Oh,
I think
no, I love this way better. This is like this hoodie's like an extra large too, because I order my shit. I got this from a what do they call them things? Like collection boxes that you can order from websites of shows or movies, things like that. And I got a whole bunch of stuff, but this hoodie came with it. It was really cute. And
dude, I think that's adorable. It looks really cute.
I love the anime aesthetic. I have a lot of anime merch t-shirts. I have like, even just like when it comes to like Japanese or Korean style, anything. Obviously, as you see, my Japanese divider. Come on now.
I got love my Korean, my K-pop.
Fish, fucking sweatpants. Just like, I don't know. All that shit is super cute. So.
Oh, I forgot this was another picture. Wow, I need to stop uploading. I'm uploading too many quotes. Like I go quote crazy.
That was the last time that I had gotten on a plane, and it looked like a landscape to me. So I like wanted to take a picture, but obviously it's just the clouds. But it looks like obviously, maybe that would be like little mountains or something.
There's like a snowy mountain. Looks like.
And it looks like there's a river on the back, and it just looks so cool. I don't know. Being on a plane is kind of scary, though. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't been on a plane in like 5 months, so I probably won't be for a while.
Yeah, I did for meeting up with Princess and Eva, but I hated it. This is a good quote too. It says, "Your enemies, those you stand sharply against, will help you forge a support base that will not desert you. Do not crowd into the center where everyone else is. There's no room to fight in a crowd. Polarize people, drive some of them away, and create a space for battle." So that's kind of a little more aggro than I remembered it being. But basically, I do think that you can, when people hate on you, there's a way to help it, like motivate you to just prove them wrong, But ultimately, it's probably not healthy to, care what people say. There's so much about just like not judging people, loving people, being honest, all these beautiful messages. It's like shocking that,
I know this quote. I like this quote actually.
You therefore have no excuse, you who pass judgment on someone else, for at whatever point you judge another, you are condemning yourself, because you who pass judgment do the same things. It's facts.
And that's such a reoccurring, like, teaching within the Bible, obviously, like you should not be judging others.
And this one's do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, rather in humility, value others above yourself. And it's important to stay humble, especially sometimes, like, as a streamer, you'll get a lot of people, like, love bombing you, but they'll hate you the next day. So it's like, if you take the love bombing, you've got to take the hate, too. And it's not fun. It's best to just not take it that serious.
I think that with those though, after we did, okay, so what did we do already? We did our pictures, we did that. I think we should read the scripture of the day, and then we can do our, our 5 grateful things, and then get into like, the main topic of the day. So we can just like keep it moving.
Sounds good.
I'm probably gonna read it from my phone though, because I don't like looking at the.
It was
Oh yeah, I got it. All right, so the scripture of the day is John 7:24, and it is, "Judge not according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment." And this verse is a crucial part of Jesus' teaching and illustrates an important lesson for his followers. The first statement urges believers to go beyond outwards appearances when making judgment about others. It warns against making superficial, snap judgments based solely on external factors such as wealth, appearance, or social status. Instead, believers are called to look deeper and approach judgment from a righteous perspective. The second part of the verse serves as a counterpoint to the first half, providing a direction for the proper way to approach judgment. Jesus encourages his followers to make judgments based on righteousness, fairness, and truth. The righteous judgment involves considering a person's characters, intentions, and actions. The theme of righteous judgment is central to the teachings of Jesus and is echoed obviously throughout all of the New Testament. He says in Matthew 7:1-2, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged." I think it was kind of like the other one. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use it will be judged or measured to you. And then, so symbolically, though, the verse also carries spiritual meaning. It underscores the importance of looking beyond the surface and discern the deeper truths and realities for the kingdom of heaven in the kingdom of God. It speaks to the idea that God's ways are often hidden and not really apparent to, us and our minds, our human understanding, I guess you could say. So basically, we're just called to seek and judge others righteously. And so our wills and our align, we can align with God's judgments and with his higher understanding. Just because ours is, I would say, even just from the comments, we don't really know too much. We don't understand why things are the way that they are. So like I even said earlier, I personally try not to judge everyone. I don't think I could ever understand what someone was going through, why that person is doing what they're doing, why they're acting the way that they're acting. And I'm not going to say that's how everyone should feel, but ultimately, who are we to judge anyone? You know what I mean? And if God has the ultimate say so and he has a higher understanding, it just makes sense. I don't know.
Absolutely. And everyone has their own path, and only you can take that path.
I was just saying that's the scripture of the day. I personally love this scripture. I have it in my phone also. I have a lot of how you have your scriptures, just the pictures that you pull up. I don't know why I don't ever send those ones, but I have videos too. And I just have this certain video of this guy talking about it. And yeah, I should have sent you that with it, but it's fine. Maybe if
we could watch another video because I pulled up two just to have options for whatever we want to do later. But if Foreman, you're not banned, and guys, don't talk about my ass right now. I know I accidentally walked around, but this.
Who's talking about your ass? What do you mean? Oh yeah, you look good. You look good, Ruby. What are you talking about?
He looks like a beautiful traffic cone if she does, and she does not.
Before we get into the topics and the videos and stuff, let's do our 5 grateful things, because mine are pretty obvious. But what's been going on? Or actually, we were supposed to. There was one point that we were supposed to if you wanted to go over anything of this week, a recap of just your last week, the following week, what had happened or anything.
This last week has been better than the last few weeks prior to that. It feels like things are settling down, and I've just been really focused on just being on the path I'm on. I do feel very confident and it's the correct path for me in this moment, and I'm interacting with the right people, and I'm just trying to follow, and live by these values, and it has brought me so much joy and happiness and improvement to my life. But yeah, I do get caught up comparing to others, And that's the thief of joy, because I know, and the people around me know and can attest to an upward trajectory, but it's hard
Right.
not to compare to others at times. But ultimately I'm very happy with where I'm at in my life considering where I was. So for me,
Yeah,
I
that's
feel very
what
blessed.
I always
But
like to tell people. Like, you just have to think, like, some people might not see the progress that you're making, but obviously you're living your life, you know how you live. And if you look at, even just a year ago today, are you the same person that you are now or that you were back then? Probably not. And you're doing something a little bit better than what you were doing back then. And that's all that matters. Like, yeah, like how you said earlier, maybe by society standards at your age, you're supposed to be doing certain things. And I feel that way too. Like, so am I. Obviously, people like say that you're supposed to get your life together in your 20s and do all these things and have kids and be married by the certain age and whatever, whatever. But it's just like, you are only capable of like controlling you and your life, and you only live once. So just do whatever, not do it. Like, I hate the phrase like do whatever makes you happy, but at the same time, it is like do whatever makes you happy. But
we need to
hopefully,
find your calling. Like,
yeah, but
what
like I
can
always
you
try to
contribute to the
emphasize
world?
like the benefit on, oneself. Like, you always like, yeah, you can do whatever makes you happy, but if that happy is drinking and smoking and having sex and doing
Yeah.
all these things, like, obviously I try not to encourage that. And I'm like, it's really like what benefits you in the long run. Like, if something has been benefiting you in a good way, then yeah, do whatever makes you happy. But sometimes you got to look at the bad shit. And I don't know, everyone
Exactly. And I've like,
has
I
that
feel
different
like I lived by
like,
that value, because I like in my 20s, I followed like my passion, which was music, but it just isn't like very lucrative. And none of my bands took off in that way. But, I was happy. I was playing the music that I loved, that my friends loved. And I, felt very validated and accepted in a community during that time period. And I feel like I've replaced that, like, with YouTube now to a degree, but it's still, I feel like my metrics of success are just different than the people who are judging me. So I try to just be logical and just be like, we have different perspectives. We have different things we value. So of course, they're going to not always match up. Thank you, Grimace. At least we have, I mean, the thing is, for
I
me,
just
it was enough to see anyone like singing along at our shows, knowing and singing my lyrics back to me. That's enough like validation and happiness to take me for a lifetime.
yeah.
And even just having any following whatsoever on
You
YouTube.
have to show your band videos one day on here, because
Oh,
I remember
yeah.
the little one that you played, but I didn't really. I don't know. I just don't remember it as well as I need to remember. So I need you to play
There's
them.
a lot. There's a lot out there, but it's like on like so many different channels, like, it's like,
Yeah.
100 views.
That note is actually so cool though, and I don't know if I've ever told you, but like the fact that you were just in a band, like, I don't know, I've always wanted to just be able, obviously, to sing or just be able to play an instrument or something. So the fact that you were just in a band and you did your thing and you have like just people out there that you did that shit with and your songs that you can just look up and play for us, it's just one of the coolest things to me. It's really just something great, honestly.
It was fun, but there's a dark side of that lifestyle. I obviously got caught
Oh
up in
yeah,
that,
that's
and
not.
like I'm, reconfiguring, but I still love music and would love to make music. And I'm lucky both my parents were musicians, and my dad got me a guitar when I was like 12 and taught me how to play punk songs.
Right.
And then I just, I met up with other like-minded people. I got to play with a lot of awesome other like female musicians, and it was good times. It was good times, but there's a new
That's what I'm saying.
chapter.
That's a good experience for, like, I feel like someone's life, and I wish I had that. But I feel like, I have other little shit, I guess. It's cool.
Absolutely. And that's like the whole thing. It's
You
like
know,
we
you with
each
your
have our
parents,
own thing that we need to go through.
so hard because, like, I love just a good family. Like, I just love people who love their family too, because I love my family a lot, and I cry about that often. Like,
Yeah.
family, like, sometimes I
Especially
used
as I've gotten
to.
older. Definitely.
Oh yeah, when you get older, that's what I was about to say. Like, I didn't used to be this way, and I'm not gonna say I never, like, not cared for my family, but I definitely wasn't in the, I guess, the right headspace that I needed to be with them, and like felt the connection and the like whatever that ties us together that I should have. But I feel like as I grow older and older, like, I realize how how much family is important. And like, I'll just sit there and be like, damn, like, I actually am kind of scared to lose my mom, or my stepdad and shit, because I already did lose my dad. I already went through that. So like I know what it feels like, and that makes it even worse because I'm like, damn, like I really do just love my family, and what am I gonna do? Even just like with grandparents, you know, because when they say grandparents are like the glue for the family, that is such the truth. My grandma is like our glue. Like we'll be fine, but like at the same time, like I don't know. Thinking of stuff like that makes me want to just.
I know, it like makes me want to cry too, because it's just like, you know, anything can happen at any time, and like we both have been through like personal loss and tragedy, and it's the worst thing in the world, and it makes you think like, all right, like that's enough, okay, like I cannot take any more big losses in my life, you know, like, but you know, people find a way to survive all kinds of things, and you know, you have to believe that we'll be connected with them again, and that we are still connected with them in some way, and you know, their memories live on with us too. So.
100%. I definitely think it is hard to, you know, like your pain is never going to go away from like the grief of losing someone. But at the same time, like obviously like time heals it a little bit. You get to learn how to just deal with those feelings and how to just rearrange them, control them. And I feel like obviously that is what happened with both of us. But even just say like something did tragic happen, I feel like that's the whole reason that we're doing this show, is to get us into that right mindset for when tragic shit or stuff does happen and we don't really know where to look or where to turn to. And obviously what we believe in is we should believe in or turn to God. Obviously some people out there don't believe in that. And that's why we got to talk about the rest of the shit that we're going to get into with the judging. I mean, every episode that we've already had, like they've all been points in helping, at least I think, some people to how to deal with anger, how to deal with people, like anxiety. I said how never mind. Just go ahead.
Just how to deal like with people and conflict and like
is about to.
That's fine. I'm also like very mental, so chat like, you know, but they love our little like fumbles, and we're just relatable guys, you know. But I made my like psycho little like notes today that I sent to Lo, and she tries to like make it into something that makes sense. But I was thinking a lot just about how, you know, we're shaped by everyone we interact with, and online we're constantly being nudged, and everyone is susceptible to influence. Like if you think you're not, you're definitely susceptible to influence because you're not even looking out for it in the right places. And that's why it's so important to reconnect with what are your values? What are you working towards? You know, what do you care about? You know, what can you accomplish in this lifetime?
Sorry.
Jesus led an excellent example. If you want, we could watch the first Jordan Peterson video, because this one's about Christ and suffering and just like the example.
Do you want me to pull it up, or are you pulling it up?
Yeah, let me try to pull it up. Streamer's been being nice to me lately.
I was gonna say, you always say that your videos mess up, but they never mess up. And I feel like you always have less ads than me. I'm always having an ad a fucking minute, bro. It's crazy.
Bro, I know you get hit with the ads like crazy. I do feel like I get less than you for some reason. But yeah, that's hopefully
he's also good. And not just good, he's as good as it gets.
Oh wait, and no, explain the video to me.
It's tragic when something bad happens to someone.
I didn't look at this one. I just put it in the notes when you sent it to me. So what is this video?
Well, what if they deserve it?
It's Jordan Peterson's commenting on Christ and suffering. And then there's another video that's about envy and the phenomenon of envy.
Okay. All right, well, let's get into this then.
Okay, well, then it's not so tragic. It still might have an element of tragedy, but it's really tragic if something really terrible happens to someone who clearly doesn't deserve it. So what's the most tragic story? Well, it's the worst possible thing happening to the person who least deserves it. Well, that's core to the passion story, that's for sure, right? Because not only is Christ innocent, he's not merely innocent, he's also good. And not just good, he's as good as it gets. And yet his life is the tragedy of the passion is the worst of all possible punishments visited upon the least deserving person. But it's much way worse than that. That just barely begins to scrape the surface.
Oh no, because that's just truth. That's what I'm saying. Like, they feel like Passion of the Christ is like, you know, one of the best representations to like show what happened, but that's not. It doesn't even come close. Like his ribs and his like intestines are literally showing, his spine is literally showing, the nails that went through are like 10-inch nails, you know what I mean? Like when you're thinking of like the thorns on his head, they're not just like regular thorns, like there are these 2-3 inch thorns that are going deep into his skin. Just everything that they did to him, it doesn't even come close to like what people imagine. And so like when I see shit like this, like it just really puts into perspective, like, you know, our salvation and what he did for us. And it makes you kind of like just rethink your life a little bit. At least that's what it does for me. And it makes me just it makes me feel some type of way anytime I see any videos like this, like, because I really sit there and think about that shit. Like I'm like, damn, like he had to go through all that just for us, just for like me to be sitting here on my computer, for other people to be out on the street doing whatever they do, for other people to be in the comments saying what they say, like, and we really are just super ungrateful and so undeserving. Like, I don't know.
And that's a one-way comparison can be positive, is to compare ourselves to like the example of Christ, or I mean, yeah, there's no other real example to follow of someone who's lived a perfect, sinless life, and everything that was taught in, you know, especially the New Testament, and those values of just loving one another. It's very simple and it's very, you know, to the point. If you know, the Bible's, it's repetitive, but that's how humans learn, is through repetition. And
yes, absolutely. Why do you think over and over they like you hear to read your Bible? Because you're going to read it once and go through it all, rush through it, and you're not going to remember anything. Like you got to read something, what they say, like 3, 4, or 5 times or something. That's why you study in school. That's why, you know, you have tests to make you remember stuff. Like school, and that's what I came to realize about school. School isn't even really about learning. It's really just like on some repetitive shit. Like they're teaching you something over and over again. You're going to take a test to see how good your memory skills are. Like that's how you get through school and high school. Like at this point, it doesn't even matter about being smart. But anyways, yeah, we play it.
And a terrible torture, because the Romans designed crucifixion to be a terrible torture.
that's the other thing, is we are so lucky to live in this like time period where this doesn't happen anymore. But this was like the norm for most of human history. Was like brutal public punishments, and like no like legal system or checks and balances. Even though our legal system is totally fucked up compared to how things used to be. That's another thing that's good to compare, is like our current situation to history, and try to learn from the things that have happened. But yeah,
like consciously. And so it's tragedy at the hands of your fellow man, and your fellow man motivated by the spirit of Cain in the most fundamental sense. How can I inflict the most misery possible in the shortest period of time, let's say, subject to that, at a young age, with foreknowledge.
Also, I just want to say, it's always a bad place to be if you're thinking of ways to hurt another person, you know? And I've, just because of my situation with the Thorpes and feeling like I've been pushed a lot, it has got me in a mindset of like, oh, I just want to like get back at them, or like do something to regain power in the situation. But, I just realized that it took me to, that's a dark way of thinking. And like,
It is a dark way of thinking, but I feel like, sometimes your flesh automatically does go to that. And that's why you do have to, I mean, obviously this isn't a God sense, but do like rebuke that and go to God and ask for not only forgiveness, but to help, like ask him to help you change that type of mindset. And just think about like what, I mean, a lot of people say like, what would Jesus do? Like, I really do ask myself that. Like, I'll sit there and be like, damn, like Jesus wouldn't treat a person like this, or they wouldn't say these certain things. And yeah, I don't know. To me, it's very easy to not say like hurtful things, but to some people it's very hard. And like, I don't know what to really, because I've never had that like as like a trait about myself. Like I've never been like rude or anything like that. So I don't know. I can't really give it on that one.
Bruce says people still live like this in parts of the world, and that's true. But like we're talking about like the punishments that are enacted. This is way less common, especially in the developed world. I'm in America. We're both in America, so this.
Like what they did to Jesus, that like, come on, yeah, like that has happened. Obviously, I'm sure to people being like murdered to some like torture extent. Like, yeah, I'm sure something out there like that. But obviously no one is like Jesus, because they didn't rise from the dead and literally like save us from all of our sins. Like, so it's just not the same. Personally, that sounded a little rude.
Consequence of
When
betrayal.
it comes to Jesus and like him dying on the cross for us, like I take that shit so seriously. Like it's not a game. It's not something to joke around about. It's not something to play with. And I hear so many people joke about that stuff or even joke about God. And like it often, like God will show you like, oh, he does have a sense of humor and he is listening. Like he gets back at people for you. He will judge people for you and give that karma or that revenge back that you so desperately want. And that's another reason, Ruby, like that what you can tell yourself, like God's revenge and God's like get back is always going to be better than yours. I can say that for a fact.
I mean, and already the people who were going after me, there was this part of me that's like, I want to show up like where they live and show them what it feels like to feel unsafe and to feel stalked. And like my mind went to that place, but then like I pretty quickly realized that that's first off just wasting time, like not productive for anyone at all, is like scary and weird and like evil kind of reaction, you know. And but like under extreme emotions, you'll start thinking crazy things, or at least like for me, I have struggled like with my mental health. So I've gotten to like places of not being like fully in reality, unfortunately.
I don't really know that. No, I'm reading them comments and I'm not saying anything because
Betrayal by your best friend at the hands of a mob of
pressing shit, guys. Don't listen. I also blocked or banned Radio Foreman just because like I don't even care. Like you guys can say whatever you want to say. Like I usually don't block people, but some people just piss me off and you just gotta go. Like so whatever. No, I wasn't saying do that to them, but
I meant to put them in timeout, but it just removed everything. Sorry, Becky Boop. I did not mean to ban. I unbanned even like my mortal enemies, you know, and I'm trying to be peaceful with them. So
no, yeah, you did tell me that you unblocked everyone today, didn't you?
It was like a couple days ago, but I didn't tell like anyone that I'd unblocked, but so I've been like I was mentioning it like more today that I did that. So
yeah, they'll just
like chat that I haven't seen in a while.
Right, that's why Ryder was like ban check.
Exactly, I know people do the ban check.
Your own people who are simultaneously under the thumb of a tyranny that's part and parcel of what's persecuting you, who persecute you knowing you're innocent, not just innocent, but also good, and who choose to punish you instead of punishing someone they know to be criminal. It's all of that. It's like the sum total of all possible fears. If you're looking for certainty, the reality of suffering is certain. I mean, what do you accept as evidence above all else? That's a good question. That's a hard question. But I would say pain is up there. It's very difficult not to believe in the reality of your own pain. It's somewhat easier not to believe in the reality of other people's pain. That's not so easy either, you know. But it's your pain seems to be undeniably real. And so it does beg a question, which is, you know, if pain is undeniably real, is that which overcomes pain even more real? And I think that's, in some sense, that's the idea that lurks behind the idea of the resurrection. So a long while back, I had planned to do a series on Exodus. I did a biblical series on Genesis, which people seem to appreciate, which I found extremely useful. It was quite a privilege to have the time and the space to walk through those books and try to understand them first psychologically. And I like to speak about things psychologically before I would ever dare to speak about them religiously. I think you leave that for last resort in some sense. I was thinking about some of the ideas that I talked about today, you know, about the Bible being the foundation of the lens through which we look at the world. We have this idea that the Bible is a living text. And, you know, if we embody it, then it's a living text. That's actually accurate.
I forgot about that.
I think.
Oh, yeah. Freaking Paro. I saw him. He was in Becky's chat last night, too. And Becky was like, who is this Paro guy? I just blocked him and he's back already. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right.
I forgot I have to do that. I haven't had a stream since that Wednesday, though, so I haven't thought about it.
But yeah, we'll
To the
update
degree-
it. You know, we're always, even if someone gets like banned or timed out, we are always like, we believe in redemption. We believe in giving people chances. And, you know, it's just sometimes hard if people do have wanted to mess with us and come in kind of with the sole purpose of like agitating and throwing us off. That can be like annoying. But
I mean, I don't
we're trying to run our channel.
I don't have a problem with Radio Foreman. I just like people like it's not even you're getting under my skin or anything. It's just like certain shit. Like I don't have to see you in the comments. Like I remember, you know, that this is our channel. So I'm just, if I don't feel like seeing that shit, then I'm just gonna ban you. I mean, you can come back at a different time.
Quality control for the other chatters and for everyone involved. But we are very forgiving.
Population control for sure. Literally.
That we're avatars of the Judeo-Christian tradition, that we do embody it for better or for worse. And we're stuck with that, or blessed by it, or both. So I'll tell you the story. When Moses is leading the Israelites through the desert, I'm very compelled by that story. You know, so for example, one of the things that's really interesting about it is that the story begins with a tyrannical state, and then it's the Spirit of God that characterizes the Hebrew longing for freedom. And that's kind of an interesting idea, you know, psychologically. You think that, what's the Spirit of God? The Spirit of God is that which manifests itself within you in opposition to tyranny.
Exactly, TJ.
Could be,
I
you know,
totally agree with that.
That's not a bad idea. It's quite an idea. It's a remarkable idea. And maybe it's true. It's certainly the case that that's how God is presented in that story, and in many other ways, but that being paramount above all. And you know, there's another corollary to that, which is, well, we shouldn't be subjects of tyranny if we're children of God, if we're Israel, and Israel means we who struggle with God. It's not appropriate for us to be subject to tyranny. And that's interesting too, because I think we sort of accept that idea at face value in the West, is that, yeah, slavery is wrong, obviously. It's like, it's not so bloody obvious, these things. You know, one of the things that I'm really curious about in relationship to the postmodern types who make group membership the sine qua non of existence is, why is slavery wrong? Exactly. It's like, it's just one, if we're all groups and one group lords it over another, it's like, that's not wrong, it's just tough luck for the oppressed group. There's no wrong there, because it's only wrong if we're sovereign individuals, right, with some intrinsic worth, who are not to be subject to arbitrary tyranny. That's when it's wrong, and you have to accept all those other axioms before you get to say anything about slavery being wrong at all. Otherwise, it's just, like Marx pointed out, it's just brute economics. And so you can make a moral judgment about that if you want, but what's your criteria for saying that it's wrong? You know, and of course that would upset people on the radical left who want to presume that it's intrinsically wrong without having to presume all the things that you have to presume to make it intrinsically wrong, and without even noticing that that's just a sleight of hand. In any case, so that's part of that biblical narrative too. We're not the sorts of creatures who should be subject to tyranny. And then the tyranny might be, well, is it the tyranny of a state, or is it the tyranny we impose on ourselves? And I would say probably both. Why not both? The story could be referring to both. We tyrannize ourselves with our own presuppositions all the time. And then you might ask yourself, why? Why don't we just give up our tyrannical presuppositions? You know, because they're not worthy and they're oppressive, but we don't give them up, and why often celebrate them? And I think the story has an answer for that too, because it's out of the tyranny into the desert. It's like, is that better or worse? How about worse? And so what if it's the case that even to escape from the tyranny of your own presuppositions, that you don't go from the tyranny to the promised land, you go from the tyranny to the desert? And who the hell, excuse me, wants to do that? And the answer is no one with any sense. It's like, hey, I'll just keep the tyranny, thank you very much. At least I know where everything belongs there. And fair enough. I mean, this is a very serious question, and it's an open question in the Exodus narrative, whether the desert is worse or better than the tyranny. And so...
okay. This speech is actually abhorrent. please ban me permanently. I will not be coming back. Study other religions. I have looked into other religions, and also I was a militant atheist, like you, not too long ago. We both explained our experiences, and neither of us are like really militant trying to convert anyone. We're just watching a video that we found personally inspiring and to be like motivational. And I'm not
And
sure why.
I mean, I don't know how many times I have to tell people like I'm not religious. I don't know if people only like put
Yeah, they don't believe
Christianity
our
and
words.
the Bible together, but I'm pretty sure you can believe in the Bible and not be a Christian. Like I'm sorry that I just follow the things that are in the Bible. I mean, I can look into other religions all I want, but I mean, it's just like
I read some of the Quran. I genuinely explored like other religions and to see what a large segment of the population believes, just out of curiosity. And I connected with the Bible, and either because it's true or because I was raised that way, and that's what is comforting to me. But sometimes you have to live in the ambiguity. And right now, faith to me is choosing to believe. And I've had these experiences that I can't explain otherwise, but it's totally fine if you have a different experience. You're the one attacking us for what we believe. You're projecting what you're doing.
I mean, I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm not thinking that far into it. But even with this video, like, I personally don't even know who this is. I don't believe everything that he's saying. I'm not agreeing with everything that he's saying.
Yeah.
And this video is literally for us to watch and make our own perspectives on it. Like, this is our first time ever seeing this video.
Exactly.
We want to see what he's talking about. Like, I don't know. I feel like, well, come on now, guys. Like, we're getting too quick for,
Wait, what do you mean? That's cool to talk about other people the way he's talking about them? He's just criticizing the idea that we can't have objective morality without some kind of higher power that determines that morality. But you can take that as a value judgment if you're not used to like discussing philosophy. I get that. He even was adding a caveat that people were going to misinterpret it. But he's not telling you what to do.
What group are you talking about bad? They said I'm not telling anyone to convert. It's just that
talking about people on the extreme far left. I agree with his. I used to be on the extreme far left and involved.
I mean, I personally, when it came to that little part of where he's talking about actual that political side, I'm not like, no offense, like I'm listening to it, but I don't. That's a part that I personally don't agree with because I don't. I'm not into that political stuff. Like I don't get it. I don't want to get it. I don't want to understand it. It's really that simple. But when it comes to the God aspect of it, I do believe in the Bible. So there's like things that I can take in and I can take out. And I feel like we also don't speak on groups of, certain people ever. We are only talking about our personal journeys within ourselves and with God. And like, it just so happens that me and Ruby both are in the journey with Jesus. So yeah. It's like this show is not going to be for everyone, but at the same time, like we also have like open panels at the end of our shows for people to come up and talk about like what you're not like. There's so many things that obviously we want people to come up and talk about, but
we had Smith come up basically pretending to be Satan with an apple.
Yeah, literally, he was our snake in our garden, and there's people like we want people to come up, and obviously, like if you guys call it debating or arguing, I call it a conversation. Like you guys can conversate with us about like what you believe about what we believe, and like it doesn't ever have to end up anything bad. It's just like we're both trying to get each other's perspectives and understandings, and it's really not that deep, honestly. But
yeah, anyway. And like we are reacting to a video, so we are gonna add our commentary to it. Neither of us watched this beforehand. I like some of what Jordan Peterson says, maybe even a lot of what he says, but not everything. And people should be able to, exactly like what Lo said, you can watch something, take what you believe. You could offer a different perspective if you disagree. But yeah, it doesn't have to be that crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like I often like watch videos a lot that I disagree with, and then I just like pass it. I have my own opinion, but it's really like, yeah, I'm not saying, because like I get what you're saying, boop boop or bot, whatever your name. I'm sorry, boop.
Also, we're streaming on 4 different platforms right now, so
have fun with the brain rot 7 viewer stream on your dying religion. It's dying for a reason.
Also, Christianity is having a renaissance right now. Look at Ion.
Like, I feel like listen, I can't even say, like I said, what did I say like 20 minutes ago or 30 minutes ago, Ruby? Like, no matter what we do, no matter what we believe in, if we were atheist, if we fucking believe in God, if we believed in, or if we were Buddhism, whatever the shits, okay, somebody would find something wrong with this. So honestly, no offense, bop, bop, boop, boop, whatever. Like, me and Ruby with our little 7 viewers will be perfectly fine over here. Okay, if it's dying, it's dying. That's your opinion. Anyways, on to the next one. Like I said, like I don't want to address comments anymore. Like comments are so like I can't listen.
I know.
Listen, in the real world, lots of people in the Soviet Union pined for the days of Stalin. So I read a book once that was reminiscences of a extermination camp written by the guards, the good old days. You know, so I don't think there's a tyranny that's so brute that we can't long for it if it's been shattered. And so that's quite something, all that packed up in that story. Anyways, you know, the Israelites are out in the desert, and they're there for 40 years, and you might think, well, what kind of leadership do they have? It's not that big a desert. And the answer is, yeah, but you know, the desert after a tyranny, that's no bloody joke, and maybe it takes 3 generations to get through it.
There's no point in addressing the comments. Like, they just literally take away from the show and just ruin it. So yeah, I'm done with
it. It is, you know, it's worth restating occasionally, just so people know we are not here to like judge anyone's walk of life. We're just expressing our walk of life and what has been helping us and trying to connect with other people who want to like try to, you know, build a more positive community that's based on values of like love and forgiveness and, you know, redemption and hope and all of those values, because that doesn't exist enough in this online space. So, you know, yeah, we're trying something different and people are going to.
No, that's another thing. Like, it literally, like, we have already expected this to come with our show. Yeah. Like, not a lot of people like hearing about Jesus and just living a positive way and like trying to figure out what I guess the truths are of life, and these are ours. A lot of people don't like that, and like I said, I already knew this was coming, but at the same time, this gives me a sign that I obviously, or we are obviously on the right path, obviously in my own personal life, but even on the show, on YouTube. Like, if so many people are hating on this shit, there got to be something right about it, because haters don't hate for no reason. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. And also, but we also have a lot of love and supporters, and I've gotten people have messaged me privately just to say that they just really value that we're doing something different, and, you know, that we're like sticking to it and like trying to create quality content that's like a little more wholesome, a little more oriented towards God and good and connection, and not towards, you know, just constant like drama and chaos. And, you know, you can get that celebrity stuff.
That's why just focusing on the complete like just episode without addressing people or addressing comments, like, it just, that's why I love doing this with you on like every Wednesday. Like, I literally look forward to LO Angels every Wednesday, because yeah, I try to, like, you know, spruce up my life with obviously the Bible and just getting the right things in my word or in my ears. But like, when you do have that little community, even though we're not a community, it's just 2 of us, I feel like obviously we have our chat, we're looking at that, but it's really just me and you getting to just talk about something that we like and that we're getting to know more and that we're into. And I just personally just don't think there's anything wrong with it, but like I said, there's always going to be that different perspective and people that think something different. So you're like, just take it with a you know, grain of salt, whatever that saying is.
Thank you, Gummy Froggy, for the super sticker. I'm not even sure. I saw that's like a super sticker. What is? Have you gotten those, Lo? What is that?
It's like I don't think that we can see them on StreamYard, but they're just like a sticker. And yeah, I have got them. I'm trying to, or let me see if I can go in the comments.
I know. Now I want to look on it. I'm just curious, you know, what it looks like.
I don't know if he might have sent that. I don't know if that's on mine or yours.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it is on mine, duh, because obviously LOL Angels is monetized. I forgot that we were on this channel. But thank you, Gummy Frog, so much for the super sticker. I couldn't even look at it. I can't for some reason. Whenever I go to YouTube on my phone or either phone, like, it doesn't let me press my lives, but on my computer it'll let me press my lives especially when I'm like dual streaming or just streaming through something else. Like my phone's just act weird, so I can't like go and look at what the sticker is. But I appreciate you a lot. Shout out to you, Gummy Frog. And guys, like the video, subscribe over here and over on Riding High with Low. So appreciate you.
Yes, thank you.
And that's possible. And so there's all that. And then the Israelites are wandering around in the desert. And what happens? Well, the same thing happened to them as is happening to us. They're worshiping false idols and they're tempted. And it's no wonder they're tempted because, well, they're in the desert. It's like it's not going so well. It's no wonder they're having a crisis of confidence, you know, and maybe they're pining for the old days and they're not so sure that the God who informed them that being the subjects of tyranny was wrong, because now here we are in the desert. And so they lack faith, and it's understandable. But despite it being understandable, and this is one of the harsh things about the story, what does God do when he hears their complaints? He sends poisonous snakes in there to bite them. I think that's pretty brutal. You know, and that's the sort of thing that makes the technical atheist type sort of recoil about conceptions of God in the Old Testament. It's not exactly what you'd expect in some sense from an all-merciful being. It's like you got these poor Israelites. First of all, they were in the tyranny. Then they had to go across the Red Sea. Now they've been wandering around in the desert, and that's not good. And so your best solution is to send a bunch of snakes in to bite them? But you think, well,
Unfortunate, but true.
Even if you're in the desert after a tyranny and you lose faith, then the snakes are going to bite you, right? Because that's what happens. Because if you're in, you know, a little analog of hell,
that is
and you
true.
lose your faith,
I just that comment.
is that going to make it worse?
But because I didn't read it when you had to put it up here, but no, that is definitely true. I mean, I personally can't relate because, like I have said, like my whole life, I personally have had most of the things that I guess you can say the Bible tells you to apply to your life. So like kindness, not being judgmental, obviously honoring parents, not lying. That's what I'm saying. I've always been naturally just like the ways of the teachings of Jesus. Hey, that's not even on no, like, that's really just like my life. Like, I really
like
always just calm.
Some people
and
aren't as empathetic and some people are more empathetic, and it's something you're born with and you get from your family and the people who raise you, you know, but not everyone is born in an awesome family, or not everyone, you know, has that maturity,
and no, that's what I also try to tell people. Like, I didn't grow up on the Bible. I didn't grow up on any religion at all. Like, I think maybe my mom, she might consider herself like Catholic or something because she grew up obviously different than what I grew up. But when she raised me and my sister, like, we didn't go to church. We didn't have anything. Like, she didn't even really explain to us what God was. So I had to figure that out on my own. And yeah, I could have chose a different religion or something, but the Bible, like I said, it always aligned with what I already had. So that's what I went for. Like, I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like people can, you know, that's us just being genuine about our experience in hopes that other people can relate to it or be inspired by it or seek out that kind of connection in their own lives, or just be inspired to, like, you know, exemplify Jesus's teachings. Because even if you don't, you know, believe other aspects of the Bible, you can still be inspired to act better and, you know, to turn the other cheek and to treat people kindly no matter, you know.
Yeah, and I did see someone said like God, or Kiss Me said God is not merciful. I personally disagree. Like I said, obviously everyone is a sinner. We all like are so undeserving. We're all super ungrateful for what he does for us, gives us on a daily basis. But even like if you're talking about just like with this story of, you know, the Israelites being in the desert for 40 years, like think about, like, I like to think about it like literally how it's put, like a father and children. Like if they're not listening and they keep on disobeying God and he keeps on trying to you know, lead them and guide them, and they're going to go on their own way. Like, you guys thought you were getting to the promised land and you can get there, but they complained the whole way. They did this and that, like along the whole way. So it's like, you have to be disciplined. You have to understand, like, you have to be prepared for where you're going. And if God already tried to show you the way and you want to disobey, then like there's going to be a punishment for it. So me personally, like, I feel like Oh, I just now seen that you put this comment up here. Poop guy says, thanks for the response. I respect that opinion. I respect your faith. I just don't have it. And I respect your opinion and obviously your comment too. And I obviously wish the best for you. A lot of people don't have a lot of faith or any faith at all. And, you know, I will try to pray for that for you. But ultimately, like, you just have to figure out what aligns with you and what works for you in your life. Like, I got to keep reminding people, you know, this is just me, guys. This is just what I think. You know, I'm just a woman. My opinion doesn't matter too much. Like, I understand. I'm not saying that to you, Poop guy. I'm saying that in general. But yeah, I don't know.
And
People,
also join we have a little Discord. I just remember.
oh yeah, guys, please join our Discord. Our Discord, I personally,
the conversation there. You know, it's interesting.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not really on Discord, even in my own Discord, but I love our LOLAngelz Discord because it's only straight positivity. And anytime that I do go in there, like, it just makes me feel good. Like, my brain goes off. Like,
yeah, and it's nice because there's so many other Discords that are like, it's a trash fire. Everyone's fighting. It's like we have just like at least one nice Discord where you can like take a break from all of that and just be around people who want to build you up, you know, who want the best for you and who are just trying to build a positive community together to, you know, combat a lot of the negativity that's happening online, you know? So we accept people from all different walks of life and faith. And
that's what I'm saying. Like, I said, like, I literally have friends who, they're not atheist, or what, atheists are like, you don't believe in anything. Yeah, like, they're atheists.
Yeah, like you're like, there is no God. Agnostic is like, there's doubt, you know, that there's uncertainty.
Oh, yeah, I have friends of all different kinds, and like, I don't give them no type of judgment. That's obviously what the topic is on today, guys. Like, this is the whole reason that the comments, you know, we should be going over these anyways. There's certain things that are like judgmental, what we need to not be focusing on. Obviously, like, some things that are said in the comments, like, those are the things that people will probably let sit in their head and like replay over and over again. But that's like the point of the video that we're trying to get to. Like, we don't need to be judgmental towards others. We don't need to like hold on to judgmental thoughts. Like, obviously, we're going to get into some videos on how we can redirect our minds to certain other things and how we can like handle just being judged upon, or how like to throw that judgment out, rebuking it, whether it be in Jesus, I guess, or not. Depends on the video that we show. But yeah,
exactly.
Go ahead.
Answer better. And the answer is, well, I have reason to lose my faith. It's like, fair enough. That isn't the question. The question is, what happens if you lose it? Or you start looking for faith in the wrong directions? And the answer is, hell gets a little deeper. That's one of the things that really frightened me. I spent a lot of time studying atrocity, and I realized on a metaphorical level that the reason hell is a bottomless pit is because no matter how bad it is, there is some bloody stupid thing you can do that will make it worse.
True.
And that's right, you know, and that's a terrifying realization to really understand that. And so, okay, poisonous snakes. And so now the Israelites are not only lost, but they're being bitten by venomous creatures. And, you know, there's an echo of the snake in the Garden of Eden in that story. And so finally the Israelites, they get kind of tired of being bitten by the snakes. And they go to Moses and say, you want to have a chat with God because you seem to be in there fairly tight with him. How about you get him to call off the snakes and maybe we'll behave a little better? How's that for a deal? And Moses says, okay, I'll see what I can do.
They Armani, well, first of all, Justin, retro TV show, where I don't think we're going to be having an open panel today. I'm not too sure about Ruby's thoughts on that. But
yeah, no, I'm fine. Yeah, we're both a little like, I'm super menstrual and crampy right now, and you know,
yeah, no, me and Ruby's already synced up, guys. That's how you know we're besties. Don't play with us.
I know, dude. Yep, that makes sense. So, yeah. Yep, we are both in it. Oh my god, Zendo, stop with the weird sex stuff. This isn't the format. Oh my gosh.
If you post, Ruby, like, if the Discord link is already posted in there, if you're using like your tablet, fucking laptop, phone, whatever you're using, you obviously just click the link, and if you have Discord on that device, it should just go straight to it and have you like join the server, I guess. That's how
I'll drop the link in chat, like specifically, because I don't know if you can copy and paste it from the thing, but I'll display it.
When he goes and has a chat with God, which is no trivial matter, and God doesn't do what you'd expect, because what you'd expect, like, and this would even work in terms of making it a comprehensible narrative, you'd think, okay, all right, guys,
Post it in the back.
enough. No more snakes.
We'll post the Discord link in the back chat so I can post it on my side too.
Oh,
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I should be able to do it through there. But you can play it. I just wanted to say that.
But that isn't what happens. And I think the reason that it doesn't happen is because there's no getting rid of the snakes. I think that's also why there's a snake in the Garden of Eden, is there's just no getting rid of the snakes. You have to learn to contend with them. It's more that. Or maybe it's better to learn to contend with snakes than it is to inhabit a world where there's no danger. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. Anyways, God says something extremely surprising and very interesting from the perspective of a clinical psychologist. He tells Moses to cast snake in bronze and to raise it up on a staff. And the staff seems to me to be a reference to the staff of Moses. And that staff of Moses is something like the thing you put in the ground to orient yourself with. It's the staff of God too. It's sort of like an axiom. And maybe it's like the tree of life. It's like, here I stand. It's a center point. It's all of that. In any case, you put the snake up on the staff. That's also the symbol of healing, right? The physician symbol of healing, the staff with the snakes. And so it is a symbol of transformation. And partly that's because snakes shed their skin and are reborn. And so they're viewed as agents of transformation. And so that's all lurking in that symbol. And then God says, get the Israelites to go look at the snake on the staff, and then the poison won't poison them anymore. And I read that as a clinician. I thought, that's really interesting, because one of the things that we learned, all schools of psychotherapy learned in the last 100 years, is that if you get people to voluntarily confront what makes them afraid and what makes them want to avoid, then they get better. It's curative. And so that's the message there. It's like, well, if something is terrifying you, pay more attention to it. And that's actually what you teach people in psychotherapy. I mean, there's a variety of psychotherapeutic techniques, but exposure is probably the cardinal technique. It's like, if I can find out what you're avoiding and get you to confront it voluntarily, you'll get better. And the reason seems to be is that if you get people to confront what they're afraid of, and sometimes what disgusts them, but what they'd like to avoid, let's say, if you get them to confront it voluntarily, that could be the future even, the indeterminate future, they don't get less afraid. They get braver. And that's different. It's not like they get accustomed to what they're looking at and they're no longer afraid. That kind of happens, but it isn't really what happens. What really happens is they discover there's a lot more to them than they thought. And so they're not as easily intimidated then. And so if you run a clinical client through a session of exposure therapy, maybe they're afraid of an elevator or something like that, you get them so they'll go
I kind of agree with that.
And sometimes
there's been some tools that I agree with, but I kind of agree with that. Like, if you are afraid of something, I mean, a lot of people, they don't want to go through, that fear of getting over it and being in that uncomfortable space. But I personally have, like, obviously, even if it was like a simple fear of like, oh, you're afraid to jump off the dive board or whatever the fuck it's called in a pool, and then you do it and you get over that fear. Like, I think that's actually like a good thing. Like, if you're afraid of something, you should just like try to overcome it and face it and not try to run away from it.
Yeah, and it usually like tells you something about yourself when you have like a fear of something. For me, I've struggled like with social anxiety on and off, and it's like the way I break out of it is just by like, just going out in like crowded areas, like, because it's easy. Like, when I used to work from home, I would spend like, maybe like a week and like not even like leave my house, or just do like get really like agoraphobic like that. But I found that exposure therapy really worked. And even like with cleaning, like today, I was just, I get a lot of anxiety and have like some weird, issue with cleaning. And, I
uncomfortable, but once you're doing it, though, that's what I'm saying. Like, you feel uncomfortable in that moment, but like afterwards, didn't you feel that just like sense of relief and you kind of just feel achieved?
Absolutely. I'm very proud of my.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. There's always that good feeling afterwards, or just getting over and overcoming something.
Exactly. And I picked up like everyone was making fun of me because I had clothing everywhere. And it's like trying to like use that to at least like help fuel a little bit. So it can, sometimes you can use the heat to help fuel. But yeah, I probably agree with this.
Absolutely. And I think it looks like a nice area. I could sit there and relax, look like you could just read a book right there. Just a nice.
Oh, I
area.
also finally hung up my painting because people were like clowning on me too. For
Yeah,
not, like,
that's your background right now.
up.
That's why I just put that 2 and 2 together. Like that's your background right now. Just the plants, like are they real? They're fake plants.
Oh, they're fake. I can't.
No,
I'll work my way up to a real plant.
That is a responsible person, okay? If you can't take care of plants, don't get no real plants. Like listen, I got my little fake plant back there, okay? I can never take care of a real plant. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But
it is, and that's why the initiation, that's why for myself, and this also helped me get into reading the Bible, is I just made a vow to myself, no matter what, I'm gonna read one page a day.
Lionel like said something, and that's what, like, after you were done, I was gonna get to that. Like, it does not work for every situation though, because obviously I'm just gonna use the example of, like, let's say like lust or fucking something that you should be afraid of. Like, those are the things that you shouldn't run towards. Obviously there's like things that you shouldn't run towards, and there's things that you should run towards when it comes to fears. But I'm talking about just like simple things that you probably know that you could overcome in your life. And, you know, it might take you a month, it might take you a day, it might take you a week. I'm not too sure, but no, like, because Lionel, he did express some things in my Discord, which I was like, you know, just proud of someone to just see someone to be able to speak on like really tough things like that. But he said my mom was afraid of being SA'd. I wasn't going to tell her to go hang out with the grapes to overcome her fear. And yeah, that's absolutely, like, for sure. There's some things that you can't run towards, but there's little things I feel like in your day-to-day life of just like you being afraid to do, you being like afraid to get up and, like, you know, grab that opportunity. And then it turns out to be like, let's say it was a job opportunity, but then it turns up like, oh, you absolutely love that job and you end up fucking getting a raise in 2 months or something. Like, there's certain things that you can. So that's why I'm saying, like, what you got to take, like, what I say, like, with a piece of salt. Because it's like, I feel like I don't explain it well enough. I'm not the most articulate person on earth. I'm sorry. But
you are, though. And it's like everyone has their own way of communicating that's going to resonate with someone differently, you know? And I think, like, I love how you communicate. And I understand, you know, your perspective, like, on most things. It makes sense to me, and I think you're very well spoken.
I just tell people to, like, bear with me, because, like, I do, like, I appreciate you that you think that, like, I'm articulate, but I know that I'm not. I could definitely be something way more. My brain just moves too fast for my mouth. I can't think or say all the things that I'm thinking, and I just have a hard time, like, expressing myself. But I do the best that I can, guys. Okay, so just give me a grace. It's fine.
Women.
Man.
Because women have anxiety disorders more often than men.
That we do. Oops.
Hey, that ending off, but I don't even honestly. I don't even watch the rest of the video.
Yeah, it is actually, it's a longer video, so we don't have to. Yeah, and we're almost like around 2 hours.
I did want to watch this video that I did. I don't think I sent it to you, but I put it in the notes, and it's just like overcoming the fear of being judged. So, and I think it's like a 5-6 minute video that we can watch really quick. I'm trying to pull it up. Oh, okay. I was going to say, if you want me to share, I have it.
Oh, you have it? Okay, I guess that's probably faster than me finding it right now.
I'm just skipping already the ad that starts in the beginning. Because
dude, you really do get hit with the ads more than me. I wonder why. That's so weird, because I get fairly lucky, but I still get them sometimes. Boom. I don't know why the audio is off for it. Is that me?
No, I think it's mine.
Oh, there we go.
Yep, it is mine. Sorry.
Whichever way you judge me has absolutely no impact on me, because I'm completely stoned. I have not given this privilege to anybody, that somebody can make me happy, somebody can make me unhappy. Any moment we could be doing something wrong, so we listen to everybody. But what they say will not determine how I am.
So Sadhguru,
That's true, Lionel. I get what you're saying.
I happened to be in a situation where a friend of mine was drunk. So when she was in the drunk state, she was repeatedly saying that please don't judge me as I'm drinking. Please don't judge me.
It is… but she's lost her judgment, but she doesn't want you.
So my question is, whether it is alcohol or not, in life, why are we so apprehensive about being judged by others? And how can we not let this come on our way of being happy?
Look at me. See, I'm always stoned. Never touched a substance, but always stoned. You can judge me whichever way you want. Because one thing is, I'm stoned in such a way that I have not lost my judgment at all. And at the same time, whichever way you judge me has absolutely no impact on me because I'm completely stoned. Having said that, why this consumption of alcohol and drugs is growing the way it's growing in the world is, this is because the heavens have been collapsing. Yes, I was in Bangalore just 3-4 weeks ago. There were over 8,000 people doing a 2-day program with me. And just casually I asked, how many of you think you will go to heaven? Only 5 hands went up. Then I asked, are you all the hell people? No, it's just that both heaven and hell have collapsed in people's minds. This is the first time in the history of humanity that this many people in the world can think for themselves. Otherwise, your priest, your mullah, your pandit or a book was thinking for you. The first time that so many people can think for themselves. Are they thinking right, thinking wrong? There are many issues about that. But they're thinking right, thinking wrong, but they're thinking. So all illogical things are naturally collapsing. Still, this generation has not fully walked away from it, still there is fear. They can't openly say, there's no goddamn hell or heaven. They're still fearful about it, but they're trying to make a little heaven for themselves here. So, hey, wait. So naturally, when they're not able to do it for themselves out of their own intelligence, they will fall back on chemicals. Today, just to take very affluent societies, because every society is aspiring to be like that, let's say you take United States, which is the most affluent nation on the planet right now. 70% of US population is on prescription medication. Another 30%, of course, buying it off the back streets. Most affluent nation, obviously affluence is not working. To be healthful, you need chemicals. To be joyful, you need chemicals. To be peaceful, you need chemicals. To be ecstatic, of course, that is ecstasy. So, I'm not even looking at it morally. It's never a moral issue for me. If 90% of this population right now is on chemicals, believe me, the next generation that we produce will be a generation which is much less than us. If we produce a next generation less than ourselves, we have committed a crime against humanity, because the next generation must be at least one step ahead of us, otherwise we've lost it. We've lost the entire process of civilization when we produce a next generation which is actually less than us. So, we are heading towards this rapidly unless we teach individual human beings how to simply sit here and be blissed out. Stoned enough or no? Just look at me. But am I conscious enough, alert enough, clear enough? If there was a way to intoxicate yourself without losing your judgment, without losing your awareness, without losing your intelligence, it's a great thing. Intoxication is a fantastic thing. Only problem is, it takes away your judgment, it takes away your intelligence, incapacitates you. That is the problem, isn't it? Is it true? Ask anybody, you're not in the medical sciences, but ask anybody, is it true that this body here is the greatest chemical factory in the universe right now? The universe that we know, at least? Only problem is you're a lousy manager. If you know how to manage this, you would be like me, always blissed out. Anybody can say what they want, anybody can do what they want. This is like this only. Because I have not given this privilege to anybody, that somebody can make me happy, somebody can make me unhappy, somebody can make me miserable. Right now, you are a consequence of other people's opinions. Where do you plan to go like this? Anybody can ruin you. You went outside, somebody told you, Shreya, you are the most wonderful human being we have seen. Then you were floating on that cloud, what number? What number? 9. Oh, in South we do 11. You were floating on cloud whatever number, and you came home, people at home told you who you really are. And the cloud will crash. No. It's very important that neither this way or that way, we listen to everybody because we could be doing something wrong. Hello? Any moment we could be doing something wrong, so we listen to everybody. But what they say will not determine how I am. Never, ever. This you must fix and you must tell your friend when she's not drunk. Because otherwise she won't understand.
No,
That
I just thought
was-
it was a good
was
video.
really-
Like my mindset behind it. Like I literally just don't let anything affect me. Like I do listen to everyone and what everyone says, and I take pieces. I guess you can say it's picking and choosing between what I want to believe and what I don't want to believe. But I ultimately also just like have a feeling in my body. Like sometimes, obviously, like I said, we like to be blind to things so we can stay comfortable. But certain things you just feel within your soul, in your body, that you're supposed to be doing right or wrong. And yeah, like that's why I feel like it's very easy for me to kind of not look at other. I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm not judging or judgmental at all, because obviously those thoughts still pop into my head. By immediately obviously try to take them captive, don't let them out, don't try to judge anybody, but it still does slip through, so I can't like stop it from happening. But just letting, like what he said, like stoned, like when I first watched that video, I just thought it was funny because like, I do smoke weed, but I do want to get.
It was being literal at first too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I do want to get to the point of like you know, not taking any type of substance in life, because I don't drink really. I don't take pills or anything, and my problem is just I smoke weed and I smoke nicotine. Once I get that out of my life, I will be raw dogging life, and that will be great and amazing. And I
want to get to it too.
Yeah, hopefully we'll at that point still have like the composure and just the capability of, you know, not letting shit affect me the way it does now. Because even just when I don't smoke weed, though, that's what I can say. Like I will go, you know, all day without smoking weed. Maybe smoke like once before I go to bed or something, and that'll be like my day, or you know, my what I do with the weed in the day. But during the rest of the day that I don't smoke weed and I am completely sober, like I still kind of have the same thoughts. And you know, I'm usually much more actually chill just on weed. Like I am even less judgmental on weed. So I don't know. Once I get to that point though, like I feel like I'll be the same. There really won't be a difference.
Yeah, and I've already felt a lot of benefits, and I feel one of the huge benefits of like going down on methadone is that I feel even more like, you know, alive and like my spiritual experience, and feeling like I can connect with other people, and like I can understand other people more, and like I just want to do more, because when you're on opiates, it deadens everything, you know, good and bad feelings.
Yeah, isn't it kind of crazy though that like 90% of people in this world, probably more now though, are like, we are all on substances. Like it is kind of sad. And it just makes me think.
Also because doctors, like if you go to your general doctor, and you're like, you know, some suburban housewife, and you tell your doctor like, yeah, you know, I've been having trouble sleeping, they're like, oh, take this. And if the next week you say, I've been really stressed, they'll be like, oh, take this. And people just trust the doctor, but like the pharmaceutical companies are corrupting the whole process. I was on so many medications I didn't need to be
Right.
on in the past. I was on antipsychotics that made me like gain a bunch of weight, and like, it's a
Yeah,
lot
I
to
mean,
be
that's
messing
why I said
around
when
with.
it even comes to though shit with me, like pills just in general, even when people say like, oh, take Advil for a headache or what Tylenol or Midol for your period cramps, like I will raw dog a period cramp before
Oh,
taking
I
something.
think I don't know. I cannot.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like. I will go through a headache. I will go and like even like being sick. Like I don't take cough medicine. I don't like. I just don't like taking none of that shit. And it's never been like good to me to get addicted to certain. Even like like goody powders that help headaches. Like people don't realize like even that shit is literally addicting because like someone that I know is literally addicted to goody powders. Like they need to take one every single fucking day just to not have a headache. Like, and then if they don't take them, they have headaches. Like that should tell you right there that you're addicted to them and it's doing something to your body that is trying to, like, your body's trying to help itself, but you just put it on this substance and was like, oh, this is going to help me. And now your body's addicted to it. So yeah,
But
caffeine
there's also,
is a strong substance. And the people do
yeah,
forget, I don't drink coffee either. So like, or even energy drinks. I don't fuck with none of that shit.
I
Like,
need to get off of that. It's getting insane. Oops,
mhm. It's just really crazy to think about. Some doctors don't help people. Some just prescribe them or prescribe pills to people. That I definitely agree. I feel like that's what a lot of hospitals and just doctors do. Like it's really, I'm not gonna say half of them. I'm not even gonna say any percentages because obviously I'm not the right person to speak on that. But I feel like there's a decent amount of facilities that do it just for the money and they don't care about your health and they just want to send you off on your way and that's what they're going to give you is some pills and they're just forcing it into like delaying whatever, like it's what is suppressing it. That's the word that I was thinking of, suppressing it.
But some people do need, their benefit from medication. There's people with like severe like schizophrenia. It's definitely being like, oh, people are just way over medicated for like, problems that are, could be a spiritual problem or like if they just had more like connection and friendship in their life, they would find, these other elements coming together and,
Right. But I
yeah, it's
also like,
best to
I wish
avoid it, but some people need it.
I don't know. I also see like a lot of videos though of all the natural just herbs of life that you can go out and just pick out in your front yard or backyard or something that helps you. I do want to get into like that type of stuff, but you do have to do a lot. Like obviously it's very easy because we have everything, expendable to us that's right at the tip of our fingers. But I do want to get to life to that point because it's like I already don't take medicine or anything like that. But if I ever did had to heal from a very like bad sickness or something, like I want to be able to like know how to go grab some fucking dandelions and some I don't know. There's so much shit when it comes to it. Like you got to be an alchemist, literally, like fucking scientist. But
I mean, it's good to know because I'm paranoid like about this being like the end times, and who knows what dystopian shit could happen. We could get fucking nuked tomorrow and like you might actually be in a position to need that information. I think about that.
Yeah, I know static. A lot of people's problems are circumstantial, and I definitely agree with that. But people don't help those problems by taking a chemical or a substance, but that's what we do. So it makes it worse.
Also, exercises, creates and helps the endorphins and dopamine in your brain go up. Like I try to get out and like walk a lot every day, and it's been really fun doing like walking streams because then I'm getting out exercising. Like I was walking for a few hours today, and I always feel better. It helps my anxiety because I get
facts. Like I think that we need to start that. Like we need to start doing it for ourselves, but for our chat too. Like guys, we need to take a walk today, or we got to do something. We got to read a page in a book today. We got to fucking do something like that's good for your energy. I think that's something that maybe not a lot of people would want to do, but they would feel good doing it after a little while and realize how productive it is for you in your life. Because I need to do it too. Like I do certain shit, but there's like stuff like I do want to take walks more. I need to go outside, get my vitamin C more. I don't really like to be outside. So yeah, I'm not doing it just for you guys, for me too, because I struggle.
Yeah, but that's the goals that we all like inspire and can help lift each other up, and encourage each other to live at our best capacity.
Mhm.
And sorry, Spicoloy, we're not doing a panel tonight. We're both a little, it's that time of the month.
That's what I'm saying.
And
It's already like 2 hours and 15 minutes
yeah,
in. And like, yeah, if people get up here, we won't be off and at least until the 3 hour mark. And I'm not doing it. I'm tired tonight, guys. Like,
exactly.
I
I just got super
also didn't
hungry.
get into like my individual week. Like my individual week just has been like, as you guys see, I haven't really streamed since Wednesday, since all that like crazy shit happened, and I like realized like, damn, I just been doing a lot with streaming, so I kind of just wanted to take like a little break. But I just been in like a fog. Like my brain has just not been working. I haven't been thinking properly. It's either I sleep too little or I sleep too much. I'll sleep like 10, 12 hours a day or only 4 hours a day. I haven't really I usually don't eat the best in general, but I haven't really been eating the best at all this week. And yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like sometimes I just be going through stuff, and I do obviously like take my own advice and I try to pray and like go through the spiritual warfare and stuff like that. But I can admit that sometimes it doesn't work and you're just kind of stuck, or that's what I feel like at least. And yeah, I'm just trying to get out of it. So I don't know. That was
Sometimes
my
you just
week.
have to ride those lows, but like the thing is, it's like we still try to show up and just be as we are and hope that people accept us and connect with that. I think a lot of people deal with like brain fog and like or like just not being able to organize their thoughts. I struggle with that a lot. I jump from thing to thing to thing to thing, and
Yes.
people either understand that, and are like, oh my gosh, I have the same thing, and I totally get that, like, and it helps them feel less alone, or they don't understand it and they can just think we're dumb, but whatever. That's
that's what and that's why I'm saying what I said earlier. Like no matter what we do,
starting now.
like we could literally be the smartest people on earth and someone would still find a problem with what we say. So like at this point, I'm just gonna be myself. If you guys think I'm dumb, if you guys think I'm cool, boring, I don't know. I don't care. No offense. So yeah.
Well,
It's
I think you're
stressful. But I think honestly we did have a good episode today. It was kind of just more chill, laid back. But I think that we did get to some points of just obviously how to get over being judgmental, but at the same time, we didn't reach all the points that I wanted to. But my notes obviously were all over the place, since I did say that I just have brain fog also. Like I try to write them clear out, but when I'm writing, like how you just look at something and you'll be like I don't know how to explain it, bro. It's like I'm in like a derealization moment.
Yeah.
Like,
no, it happens to me a lot, and it can get worse with like the internet. I am someone who spends a lot of time online, and it can just all warp your mind a bit and make it hard. And then also being female and having like our periods, that is like just a symptom too of it. Is just like we're a little more tired, we're a little more like foggier. Like
that is true. That is true. I'd be forget. See, so like, and that's one thing about me. Like sometimes I be telling myself like I don't think my period affects me, but it really does. Like sometimes I'll just have to look back on it, and it does.
Oh,
but I forgot that you did send some of those questions. Did you want to ask some of those questions or those things that you wrote down?
No, that was more just like these were just like little ideas, but I feel like we went over like all the stuff that I basically wanted to get into.
No, I know one thing that we did that I kind of did want to go over is just like whoa, what did you write, or what would we say we're gonna do? I just read the body like image type shit, like how we look at people.
Yeah, we didn't really get into that, but
I don't know.
Also, we could start doing little like short streams here too, like throughout the week, because I haven't used like a phone stream on LOLAngelz. Like maybe if we feel like inspired to like share.
I have it on my like my page too, and I forget that I could like start it up like if I wanted to, but I just forget about it. But I think that we definitely can do that, because that could be like how we invited, or how I invited you that one day on my stream. I think a vertical for LOLAngelz would go so hard. Oh my gosh, we got to do that.
That would be cool to do an LOLAngelz like walking stream or something where we're both like vertical and like walking like, in nature.
Actually, because listen, we just talked about this earlier, that we were trying to look for more, just not only interactive. We're trying to look, guys, for more interactive stuff to do with you guys on the show, but also for me and Ruby to do for each other. And I like that idea that you just had, like went along perfectly what we were talking about earlier. And I think that can like go with next stream for sure.
Okay, well, let's see how the weather is next week, and maybe we'll be doing something different, switching it up. But yeah,
No, I think that we should definitely do that. Just because, like I said, you know, since this is our 10th episode, maybe we can do like every so many episodes, we do something different, as in like doing something more interactive with the chat, or like you said, like just going on a walk or doing something, cleaning the house up, our rooms up, whatever. Like we had a lot of plans like when we first started, and we haven't even used half of them. We need to go back and look at those plans that we had, because what?
I know, exactly. It's, you know, it's hard balancing everything, and like we both have been like working on our individual channels, but I really do feel
Our,
like the LOA
our uplifting challenges. What about those?
Yes. I'm totally good for that.
And we haven't had a guest interview in a minute. Like,
True.
I
have a couple ideas for guests we could talk to, and I'd love to hear your ideas.
Yeah,
too.
no, you usually are like the person to find the guests, because you know I don't know anybody. I don't know.
You do have a lot. Like, you know, a lot of. I don't know. It seems like you have a decent like amount of people that.
I mean, no, I do know people, but at the same time, like, as in, I don't know anybody that just actively wants to come up and kind of talk about like difficulties in their life, or you know, just shit they're going through. But I'll ask around, see, because I do have some cool, interesting characters for sure on my side, and I'll see what I can dig up, you know. But other than that, I mean,
I'm so flattered. Do you think this is a filter?
We are going to end it soon, but we didn't. Did we do our 5 grateful things? Because we have to do that. We have to.
Filter.
We have to do it in our daily devotional, or you know,
I'm grateful that he thinks I have a filter on, because that means he thinks I have.
I don't even feel like doing the 5 grateful things. So let's just get to the daily devotional in this shit, actually, because whatever. Let me see, or you can say things that you're grateful for. I am grateful for God. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful. No, when I was out yesterday, stop, because no, like, listen. You know how many people tell me that like I should be a model? Like, I know I never show like my body on here, guys, but like I do look like a model. I'm tall as fuck, like, and like I can admit that. But like someone literally stopped me yesterday when I was going out, and obviously I was wearing heels, so I was like 6 foot at least. Shit. And they were like,
I
"Are you
think you're a model?" Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, and it just makes me happy. Like, it makes me self-conscious. They were like, "Oh, I can kind of tell that you're not." And like, you know, that was like a little slick comment, because I get it. Like,
Dude.
most like, you know, whatever. But at the same time, they were just like, "Oh, you definitely should." And it just got me to thinking, like, damn, like I kind of want to for real. But at the same time, I don't know how I feel about that industry, and I would never be that type of person to like kind of show off too much. And so I don't know. I'd have to look into it, but I am like just grateful for myself, because I'm actually like just in person. Like, obviously, you guys don't know in person me. Like, I'm pretty cool. Like, I obviously talk to myself a lot, and I just think I'm the coolest person I know. Shit. But anyway,
I would agree with that assessment, though.
but that's what I'm grateful for this week, and my family, of course, and you guys. I'm 5'9". I actually did no, guys. I just like pulled out a tape measure the other day, and I'm like, listen, I've never been able to say, or I'm not gonna say never, because I obviously was 5'8" at a point, but I've always said I'm 5'9" since I've been an adult. But I measured myself, and I'm like 5'8" and like whatever 3/4 or something, but I'm 5'9". Like,
perfect. I like keep looking over, because I like dropped a cigarette somewhere, and it like keeps. I feel like I smell fire.
Oh no, you gotta find that. We're not having no houses burnt down, and Ruby going on stream tomorrow on her vertical and having like a burnt house in the background or something.
Bro,
okay.
Why do I do this? Oh my god. Hopefully it just goes out. But sorry, that's just why I keep, because I like feel like I smell burning, but it could just be in my mind.
Make sure you're good. Make sure you're good on that. But all right. The date today is March 19th. Damn, guys, it's already March 19th. Like, I don't know if that's crazy to anybody else, but I felt like we just got in this year. Like, we're already 3 months early.
But it's nice that it's like getting warm out and starting to be spring, and it's a season of like new beginnings and new vibes. And yeah, I'm very excited for the future.
I am excited for the future. Like, I'm always like, even though I try not to look into the future, I'm always like ready for whatever happens, good or bad. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what comes. But all right, March 19th, uncomplicated freedom. And this is from Isaiah 44:22. I have swept away your offenses like a cloud, your sins like the morning mist. Return to me, for I have redeemed you. We overcomplicate freedom in life. Through our legalisms, we try to find a way to humanize the redeeming work of the cross because we simply can't wrap our minds around the supernatural character of God. It can be hard to understand that the complete grace offered at Calvary because we are incapable of giving that kind of grace. But when God says that he has forgotten our sin and that he has made us anew, he really means it. God is love, and love keeps no record of wrongs. Nothing can keep us from his love. Salvation tore the veil that separated us from the holiness of God. That complete work cannot be diminished or erased by anything we do. Thank you, God, that freedom is truly simple. The beauty of your gospel is summed up in the single concept of grace, undeserved and given without restraint. And I accept it today. Amen. And I think that was a good scripture for today because we definitely do like complicate like our freedom in life. Like obviously we do have these worldly, chains on us and holds on us. But that's why I always say, like, I like to think further kind of into life and think where I'm going to end up at the end. And I know that ultimately I am free and it's because of God and Jesus. So I'm Gucci. I usually don't stress too much. So I don't know.
Yeah,
But
I liked the part where they were like saying like God is love, because I always just like identify with that concept, and just having love be like a big priority in your life, and spreading love and experiencing love and being in a state of love. I have love even for my enemies, and I feel like
I absolutely do. Shit, I got more love for them than I got for our, like, I'm not going to say anybody in life, but like I give them extra love because they deserve it. Like, that's why people like think I'm trying to be like sly or catty, like when I say that shit, but no, like people who really are like evil people, or like obviously
hurt people.
They are being tormented inside, and I feel bad for them. Yep. So I will always give them that much more grace, like literally. But yeah, I don't know. Tonight's been okay. It's been good. I always love being on stream with you though, Ruby. You're my girl.
Always. And thank you everyone in chat. This was an experiment with streaming across like on my other channel too, but we appreciate people being in the multiple chat rooms and for
no, I don't know how maybe we shouldn't split it up, because I do agree with what someone said. I think it was Pavilion, even though half the shit he says is trolling, but splitting it up into like 3 different audiences, I guess, like takes away from the whole, like the main show, I guess. But we can figure it out.
It bothers me is it separates the chat and doesn't have everyone congregated, but
yeah,
and we'll get this channel monetized anyway. I don't really care about
Yeah, no. Next week though, if we obviously are gonna do like the walk thing, we can obviously talk and walk. That can be like the episode talking and walking about whatever. I wouldn't be able to restream anyway, so it would be mainly on this channel anyway. So I think that's a good idea. But what was I about to say? There was one thing. Oh yeah, we didn't even shout anybody out in like the chat when we first started. But shout out to Dirty Pretty. Shout out to everybody in my chat. I don't even know who's over there. Has been. Fucking, I'm trying to look. Universal, Xavier, my porn bomber. Goodness gracious. Evan, I would also choose Jesus. I seen your comment. I would choose Jesus. I don't even think I've ever seen a movie with Tom Cruise in it, and then even if I did, it wouldn't matter. But shout out to Kevin. Shout out to Armani, the Panelverse, of course. All you guys, all you trolls. We love all of you guys always. Dancing on the Sun.
Stanley, Lionel.
What's here? BB, Lionel, Speak.
BB was here.
Doge. Yes. Our usual. And guys, obviously, if we don't say your name, then hurry up and comment so we can say Ghost of.
Ghost of Nicola. Hi.
Nicola. Okay, you say it right for me. Ghost of Nicola.
Oh, I found the fire. Oh my God.
Ruby. Guys, somebody call the fire. Somebody call the fucking fireman. What is going on? See, Ruby, I'm so glad that we didn't get off stream yet, because listen, you would have got up, you would have walked away. That would have been fire. Stop.
Dude, I knew I smelled burning, and I just got that romper. I liked it. I dropped my cigarette. I could not find it because I had been trying all these clothes over here, and it was like in a shirt.
Lilac. No.
Well, I'm glad I found it before the house burned down. I am a
That kind of
house
scary, but no, I literally told you. I said, do not leave that. Don't even forget about it, because that bitch is gonna
I'm glad I
burn.
found that.
Ruby the
Well-
arsonist is crazy.
I'm trying to change my ways. Okay, I pray to God that I have better control of my
Oh my
fire.
goodness. Yeah, Ruby, please be safe. Don't drop any secrets.
Yes.
Put them out.
And we will see all of you next week. And
Yes, we love you guys, but God loves you more, obviously. We're trying to spread the positivity, love, and light. So get on board, guys.
exactly.
All right, we love you guys. We'll see you later.
Bye.
We are LOLAngelz, shining so bright, spreading love, same hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. Every step you take, every dream you chase, know that you're enough, you're in the right place. Ruby and Lo, here to lift you higher, with love in our hearts, the light in the sky. Ruby and Lo, shining so bright, spreading love, lifted hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. Hope in your heart, kindness in your hands. Together we rise like golden strands. No fear, no limits, just love and light. We'll change the world when we all unite. We are the LOLAngelz, shining so bright, spreading love, lifting hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. Hope in your heart, kindness in your hands. Together we rise like golden strands. No fear, no limits, just love and light. We'll change the world when we all unite. We are the LOLAngelz, shining so bright, spreading love, lifting hearts, lighting up the night. Believe in yourself, let your spirit soar. Faith is the key, and love is the door. To everyone who shares this dream, you're the light, you're the beam. Thank you for love, for faith, for grace. Together we shine, one heart, one place.